All right, hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We have had a bit of a main roster switch up. The man, Sam, has stepped away from things. I'm Blue Panda. I was here last night. I'm here again, joined by Han for the AEC. It's day 3. How are we doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm really excited to see this matchup, actually. I really want to see a close match. We've had so many decisive wins. I want to see a close match. That's all I want to see. Close match.
Yeah, the last one was a bit of a shutout. 7th Heaven taking a clean 2-0 series against Cartel. Next up, we have Rise Esports versus Crusader Esports. A lot of things potentially going to be happening here. We don't know too much about either of these teams. At least I don't. You may know just a little bit more. But, what sort of maps were you hoping to see going into this hunt?
I'm hoping to see Theme Park. I love Theme Park because it's new, but I'm expecting more Clubhouse, more Consulate, probably Coastline, maybe Cafe. Like, the map bans and the map picks have been pretty standard across the board for all the teams, because it's just easier to play on the maps they know. So I'm hoping to see something new, but I'm happy either way, as long as it's close.
Yeah, it's always good to see something a little bit spicy coming into these competitions. Those opponent picks that you wouldn't traditionally see can sometimes throw off the mental game of your opponents and give you that little bit of an edge. But we'll be heading into the bans. We'll see what will be taken off the roster here and what will be picked up. We could potentially see a game 3 here, obviously, which would be fun. So I'm hoping that happens, but we won't know until we get into the thick of things. Hopefully, those bans start coming through hard and fast, and we'll see where we're heading tonight, Han.
Yeah, hopefully we do see that the just 2-0 series is day 1, day 2, and the first match of day 3. So having a series that goes the full distance all the way to the third deciding map should be good. Our first ban coming in, that's Cafe gone. Rise banging that out straight away.
Yeah, I mean, well, we did have a 3-game series last night. It was between Lethality Esports and I've just forgotten it off the top of my head, but it was Lethality and it's just completely blanked. Insidious, that's the one. Lethality versus Insidious. Lethality picked up the first map. The second map, it was a little bit closer. That one went to Insidious, and then we went to map 3, and Lethality just completely crumbled under the pressure. And it was a bit of an odd sort, lots of aggression where we didn't expect to be seeing it, and it did take us the full distance, but it was an interesting one to watch for sure.
Cafe, not a surprising ban. It's lots of teams don't like Cafe, and it's a 3-story map with all 4 sites very viable, heavily defender-sided. Attack certainly on the bar cocktail really limited to taking that piano side, and lots of teams don't like being constricted that much. A second ban coming in from Crusader, that's Border out. Our first pick from Rise should be coming in soon. I see Border banned. It's a small map, but it's still interesting considering it's one of the older maps in the.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many of those unique lines of sight in so many different positions where you can, get caught out without actually realizing that you're in a bit of danger. So some teams do prefer to err on the side of caution and avoid those situations where they take, unfavorable trades, which is what you don't want to be doing. You want to be taking those trades that you can capitalize on. If you lose someone, you want to be able to refrag off the back of it. And there are certain positions around that border that it is a bit of a struggle for some teams to play. Now, coming into the next stage of, things going into this game, obviously, there's still Theme Park on the board for you. You did want to see it there, but there's also Clubhouse, Coastline, Consulate, and Villa. Villa is always a good one to watch.
Yeah, I do like watching Villa, but I expect Coastline, Consulate, and Club to be our 3 maps tonight. I expect Theme Park and Villa to be banned out. But maybe they'll surprise me. Hopefully they do.
It's always good to be a bit surprised. I mean, it shows that teams are sort of figuring out where... It's all about limit testing, really. Figure out what works for them, figure out these strategies that other teams aren't going to necessarily pick up. And obviously, if it's on a map that some players don't know or aren't used to, it makes for easy round wins, makes for easy points going into competitions.
First map pick, that is Coastline, chosen by Rise Esports. The most attacker-sided map in the pool. Even though a little bit we've seen the Theme Park in the Pro League and stuff, it looks slightly attacker-sided, but Coastline is definitely the most attacker-sided map in the pool.
Yeah, and there we go. It's taken away. It's Clubhouse second pick, and then Theme Park ban coming straight from Crusader Esports. Will it be the Clubhouse ban? Will it be the Villa ban? It's actually no, Consulate was banned, so it is going to be Villa Outsider. So Coastline first for Rise Esports. Clubhouse is picked then by Crusaders, and Villa will be Outsider. So it's going to be a great set of games. Hopefully we do see that game 3 tonight, Han, and I'm really excited for what these teams are going to be bringing.
Yeah, so am I. Obviously, Coastline being the pick of Rise Esports, Crusader getting the side choice. They take the attacking side first. Not unusual to see. Really not unusual to see. Coastline is such a really good, such an amazing map for the attackers. Open corridors, you got good angles of sight, you got nice droning. There's no really tight corners the defenders can sit in, sorry. And the sides are just exposed to like the outside. I mean, hooker billiards there's a door to outside. And there's also through Aqua, you can go straight outside. Same as Kitchen, same as Theatre and Penthouse, and the same as Blue Bar. All the sites are very exposed, which allows for a really, actually pretty high attacker-sided sway.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, last night, sorry, is anything to go by, the teams that did opt into attacker first did seem to struggle just a wee bit playing into some of these defending teams. But on Coastline, yeah, there's so many positions to play around, especially that post-plant situation. You can sit out some of those doorways, some of those windows, and just hold angles for as long as you need to, and it makes it really, really hard for the retakes for some of these defending teams. But I mean, we'll have to see how things go. We might see the first game 3 or second game, second 3-map series in the tournament so far. We'll just have to wait until everyone gets into the lobby. But I mean, are we going to see potentially some of those more untraditional operators? There have been some of them floating around. The rise in popularity of the Kali, that sort of thing. The Amaru even has been picked up a couple of times so far.
I'm expecting something different. Defending on Coastline has become more and more linear. Like, there's only so much you can do, especially with only a 2-story, very small map. There are only 2 staircases in the entire map. Only 2 points for going bottom floor to top floor, which really limits the defending side on a roam game. You really want to have a 2-man roam. Generally, when you're holding a site on the first floor, you have a 2-man roam upstairs. But we could see some interesting operator choices. I mean, usually we don't ever see a Capcan or a Frost or even a Clash, something just different to put the other team off.
Yeah, I mean, we saw some Clash last night. It was instrumental in picking up a couple of rounds. They were able to lay things out, and it was a huge source of frustration for Lethality Esports last night. And they to the point where some comments they were holding their tongue. You could tell for sure, but they did type in chat after losing some of those rounds. So yeah, Clash, one of those great stalling tools for the defenders. You just bait things out. You sit there with this big shield in the doorway. You can make it very, very hard to get through. And I've seen you can clearly see players get up frustrated and angry, and they will just sit there and smack things and shoot things, knowing full well that they can't do anything to deal with that big electro shield. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see that. I want to see something different. I want to see something spicy. We are just waiting to get things sorted. We're only on our last player from Rise Esports here, so we aren't going to be too far away. But I mean, Coastline, Clubhouse, Villa, if it goes the distance, it's going to be a good one.
Certainly Coastline really favours the shields. Running a Monty in attack or a Clash in defense is unbelievably powerful. Like, you can cut off entire lines of sight, especially when there are really four corridors on each floor. And a Monty or a Clash just holding one of them, or even just holding a site, really just locks out any attackers or any defenders.
Yeah, most definitely. No, I do have some friends in the high-level community in Rainbow Six. They're not the nicest of people sometimes. They come up with these dirty strategies, and they introduced me to one the other week. It was actually, you pick mirror, you go to master bedroom, and you actually sit on the couch under the TV with your mirror window out, and it's incredibly deceptive, and sometimes people will just mistake you for the TV as well. And I've seen them pull it off 2 or 3 times where they do that, and they're able to actually clutch out the round because they've completely been missed there. So I don't think we'll see anything like that tonight, but I mean, it shows the innovation that is coming out of the high-level community in Rainbow Six. There are these strategies which are completely unexpected and completely blow people away and catch them unawares, and that's where mistakes are made, and that's where rounds are taken away despite every advantage they've already developed.
Certainly, just the creativity of players is just really showing through, especially when that comes up from the higher tiers of Siege, like players in Pro League that trickle down into some of the leagues like AEC, and it's nice to see that the meta-defining players by the best at this game really affecting the community.
Yeah, now we are coming into that ban phase. Who do you think we'll see here, Han? Traditionally, there's a lot of focus around the Thatcher, there's a lot of focus around the Gridlock. Jackal?
I imagine it's Jackal. Hibana.
Okay, it's a bit of a
I actually
different
don't
one.
mind that ban because Habana's very powerful with that pink wall on Hooker, that quad wall with the 4 reinforcements. She's really good at opening up holes just to get pretty much a full lockdown onto the billiard site.
Yeah, most definitely. It will be the Buck denying a little bit of that vertical play. Those soft floors not going to be as easy to break through and utilize here. Going into the defender's ban, a lot of echo prioritization. Wouldn't be surprised if that is one. Mirror as well has been a little bit of a focus in the last couple of days as we have started Season 3 of the AEC Rainbow Six League. It will be a Jaeger instead, so a lot of utility options here.
Interesting ban coming out from Crusader, the Jaeger. That's huge. I mean, Ying, Nomad, they have to rely on the Wamai. They have grenades. I mean, it opens up the defense to just so much utility.
Yeah, most definitely. And it's going to be the Mirror. So Echo is still available. That bomb plant deterrent. The diffuser deterrent, rather. You're not planting the bomb. You're trying to get rid of that thing. But obviously having those yokais in and around the bomb so it makes it rather hard to get in and set that diffuser down. We are going to be heading into our first round with Rise Esports on defense, Crusaders on attack. This is where it all kicks off, Han. Game 1 of this series. I'm excited to see what we're going to be bringing. We already see some pretty standard stuff being picked up. That Echo that wasn't banned out is going to be taken there, as well as the Gridlock, that rotation denial, and Wemai, just like you said, is going to be picked up.
I'm expecting to see a Wamai every single round. If they don't have a Wamai, then they have literally nothing. Grenades, a Ying, a Capitao, everything. So I think they have to rely on the Wamai. It's going to be a pretty safe pick for both teams every single round.
Yeah, most definitely. You need to be able to deny that utility as best you can. With that Big Bad Magnet, Wamai is the one to do it for sure. We are loading in. It's going to be kicking off, and we are going to be seeing a pretty interesting setup to start off with, as unfortunately the bomb has already been found. We are down on the first floor, and it's getting into it. The action phase is underway.
The Buck ban. I really like the Buck ban. This map, Buck is unbelievably powerful. He's the only only soft breacher, besides Ashe and Zofia, which have very limited soft breaching capability, to actually open up a floor above them. You can't do that with Sledge, you can't do it with breach charges, and with him gone, it means that the attacking team, especially for the hooker hold, they can't just go below into office and blue bar where the current site is, and then just open up the entire roof and take out any site holders. So I think it's a really smart ban coming out from Rise.
So what you're saying is that the buff that Sledge in fact needs is he needs either platform shoes or to grow about 1.5 feet so he can start to look for that vertical play from below. But it is starting off. The round is underway. That blue Sunrise bar hold is going to be set up mute on the bit of a roam, looking for those drones early on. And I mean, Crusaders have found the bomb site. They know what's going on. Are we going to see that slow drone play, or are we going to see aggression off the bat? That is the question.
I'm tending towards the more aggressive play. I do like the Echo drone being a sort of defender-sided drone. Player of you, that is Shred. But, oh, look at this. He's already pinched in the corner. He's going to go down straight away.
Early kill. Dan picking up that onto Shred. Shred got Aria, in fact. Lines of sight already being established in Coastline here. 3 attackers already in looking for something. Echo is there. The spray coming out onto the stairs by Bathroom. It won't be enough in lobby there. It is Rice looking for something. Has the detonation charge going out. It's trying to spray through these walls. Gets the drone there. Pirate looking for a spray onto a head somewhere, but it's all a little bit hectic right now.
The Echo off site certainly is an interesting decision, but with the IQ dead, there's no chance of them getting any of those Echo if they're hidden. But Goonbag taking out 1. That is your smoke down with no of the utility used. That's a really good pick. Yeah,
that is that site denial off the map now. For this Rise Esports site, they're going to have to rely on those Grisot mines and the Echo to set things up. We see the jump in over the bar. Rice picking up that kill onto Fanger later. That is the Echo gone. Yokai is completely nullified going into this game. They have the mute charges still available, but it is all up to Pirate and KJ to be able to take this one out. Snip has eyes on the bomb, spray through the wall. There is 1:20 left in this round. So much time for these attackers to play around, and bullets just flying out. Pirate takes a bit of damage through that soft wall. He's just looking for those sprays, and out we hear the stingers coming out.
Certainly with a 2-man advantage, a 4-on-2, it's looking really good for the side of Crusader. I mean, getting those 3 picks early on really just opened up the entire round, and you can see the angles, the holes open the bottom of blue bar. Generally, you want your defending side to keep that control, keep control of main lobby to use those holes, but with the attackers just destroying any roam presence, it looks like it's going to be a pretty good Crusader round. And saying that diffuser's going down, yeah, Snip's putting that diffuser down, and now in a 1-on-3, it's looking really unlikely for KJ to win this round.
Yeah, Dan picked up that kill there. And onto Pirate, it is all up to KJ. 1v3. There are low health bars at the moment on this attacker side. Dan taking a bit of damage, but it is going to be Rice picking up KJ there to take out round 1 for Crusaders Esports.
Good hold. Good take from Crusaders. Really, for this blue bar hold, you want to hold in like a quote-unquote donut shape. You want to keep control of that main lobby, which is adjacent to the blue bar because of the ability to have those holes open on the blue bar wall. But they just lost it too easily. I mean, Crusaders was good droning, good frags, just really picked up the first couple of kills in really 20-30 seconds, and that was kind of it. The defense had lost by then.
Yeah, it wasn't unanswered though. They did pick themselves up a couple of kills in the later stages of that round on the part of Rise Esports. We are heading to Hookah Lounge Billiards. Mozzie picked up here for Shred. The Wemai still being picked up there. Obviously, it's the most consistent pick that we're probably going to be seeing tonight after that take out of the Jaeger. So, I mean, what can be done here? They had a bit of a rough round there. They got caught out a couple of times. Did they play around Cool Vibe stairs, look for those tight angles, take some headshots? Will that be enough to secure them round 2? But it's the action phase underway. Prep phase, sorry.
Looking to see, I don't know. I'm expecting the Wamai to have to hold site. He is a more of an active player, but since he only gets those Wamai charges every 7 seconds, he needs to chill around site, especially with a sledge on the board with his grenades. But that buck ban will come in huge here. Normally, you want to get into office, get into blue bar. You want to open up below that billiard site, and you can also open up below the hooker site. You can really push them out of their own comfort zone. But with buck off the board, you can't do that at all. You can use 2 Zephyr impacts, or you can use your Ash charges, but it's only a very limited amount of soft breach.
Yeah, most definitely. We do see multiple Nitro cells on the board, so it's going to be Shred and Fanglater running around with those. Only the sledge running those frag grenades. The rest of it is largely utility and a couple of breaches as well. The setup is there. They are waiting. It will be Pirate hanging around on B site, looking to make some cheeky plays there with the Vigil. Just taking it slow at this stage. We are looking to see the attacker set up. It's the Ash, obviously, pick up by Rice. It's a very aggressive operator. You can look for those entry frags early on. And traditionally, we see, unfortunately, 9 times out of 10, that it's not always the most successful push out of these Ashes. We will have to wait and see just a bit of a spread from Rise Esports at the moment.
With the selection of Gridlock and Nomad, you can really see how cautious Crusader is about these roams. I mean, with only 2 staircases, you'd think it'd be really hard for the defenders to roam, but it just opens it up so much. And bringing Gridlock and the Nomad really cuts them down and stops them getting into these aggressive plays.
Yeah, and we will see 2 minutes left in the round, so they have burned the first minute trying to get some information here. We see Rice already with 2 kills in this game, playing rather well in that last round. They are looking to secure themselves a second. Ufixer here has taken a bit of damage on that smoke, sitting just below half health behind that shield and that rotate hole. Bomb has been found, so they know it is going to be up in that billiards hookah area. Looks like we're going to see a bit of a, clearing out that first floor and looking to make a play vertically. IQ there might be able to find something onto Cool Vibe stairs here. They're pinging it out. They know someone's there. Quick spray by Rice isn't going to find anyone because they had moved up. But Pirate and Ufix are very low right now, taking a huge amount of punishment at the start of this round. And it is Dan looking through that door into hookah. He has taken a little bit of damage himself. C4 going out. It's not going to land, unfortunately. Nothing gained there by Fanglater. The door being open onto hookah, and it's all starting to get a bit aggressive here. 1:15 left in this round.
With Jaeger off the board, I'm surprised that Crusader isn't bringing more utility. Like, there's no... great grenade from Goodbag and saying bringing no utility. That's a good advantage of having no ADSs on board. Rice picks up a second, and Dan picks up a third. That's Fanglater down, and Dan picks up a four kill for the side of the Crusaders. Now KJ again in a 1 versus 5. Snips putting Diffuser down. Not much he can do here. Takes out 1 and then gets refragged straight away by Rice.
Yeah, unfortunately, we see KJ in a repeat situation of round 1, and his teammates just dropped left, right, and center. That initial frag by Goonbag with the frag grenade was enough to start snowballing Crusaders into that round. They cleaned it up quite cleanly. They only lose 1 in the second round, which is a huge improvement from the last one. But we're heading into Hookah Billiards again from the looks of things. Pretty standard pickups, almost exactly the same out of this Crusader Esports side. Obviously, if it's working, it's working. You stick with it. You keep on rolling. And we are going to see Pirate picking up the pulse here.
Not much, not much utility brought by the side of, not much throwable utility brought by the side of Crusaders. They're still sticking to this Gridlock Nomad combo. It is working out for them, but I haven't seen much roaming besides on that hooker defense when there wasn't really roaming. They were anchoring in main and they got taken up pretty easily. So I'm not sure why they're still sticking so hard to this this double roam denial, especially when they kind of got caught up on that cool vibe stairs, where they could have brought someone like I don't know, like a Dockerby who's got grenades. I know she doesn't have grenades anymore.
I don't know. There's all sorts of information tools they could have picked up. You don't necessarily need to commit so heavily to trying to deny that roam potential, especially when Pirate on the Vigil actually sat on B site there, rather than looking for any sort of sneaky plays down on the first floor. 17 seconds left in this prep phase. Are we going to see a bit of an adaptation here from Rise Esports? Because the 2 rounds they've played so far haven't worked that well, and maybe they need to be doing something a little bit differently to be able to take rounds back from Crusaders.
Yeah, I'm really surprised not seeing a Capitao. That is the most surprising one here, because you can burn out a Wamai, which can only catch 1 throwable with just a flash, and then a Capitao, a Bolt can come in and pretty much kill someone, especially this player on Cool Vibes or this player on the shield at Aqua. They're really exposed positions for just someone repelling on like a double window to watch them run out and straight into their arms. So it's just interesting seeing Crusader running the same op, but it is working out for them, so it's not much I can foul about what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, Capitao's great for flushing those defenders out of those little hidey holes that they find, those little nooks, those little crannies where they can start to find some of these tight angles, get those headshots and take out the attackers. But it's not opted for. They've stuck with the exact same strategy. You see a bit of rotate back into Hookah from Pirate. Spray coming through these windows on the first floor. There are attackers upstairs looking for something, but it's all about that drone information gathering at this stage. They're taking it slow. This isn't an overly aggressive playstyle that we've seen out of Crusader so far. They opt to go for that information gathering, and once they've figured out roughly where people are, they just look to flood onto a site and wipe out Rise.
With the Buck ban, with Buck on the board, you generally see a pretty hard hold of Blue Bar when you're holding Hooker. But since they know they don't have that sort of vertical presence and they can't actually establish it, they're really just turtling down on side. You have the 2 roamers over near theater side. Not surprising to see, considering it's a pretty strong position to hold when defending Hooker. But in the past, it's kind of just isolated KJ, and I'm not sure if it's the play for Rise.
There we see an early kill. Shred picking up the headshot onto Snip, which is going to be that Nomad, that roam deterrent, now taken away from Crusaders. 1.5 minutes left in this round. The smoke's being used on that main doorway into Aqua, so they are going to just find it a little bit harder to get on the site. The spray through the side window, almost taking out Goonbag, not quite able to find it. The drone's coming out hard and fast, looking for information. The time is whittling away here, Han. Are they going to be able to bring this back?
It's 1 minute left, but they are, again, because Coastline's such a small map, they are pretty close to sight. It's not that they're locked out by too much, but this roam presence is really good at slowing Goodbang down, who does have the diffuser. If they get a pick on him, that does leave the diffuser exposed on Aqua Balk.
Yeah, and they are looking for those aggressive roams. Pirate finds another kill onto Dan. 5v3 currently in favor of the defenders at Wemai, denying the grenade entry from Goonbag. They are looking reasonably healthy. 39 seconds. Enemy ticket outside. They found Pirate. Arya picking up that kill, taking it down to a 4v3. The Vigil is now gone. They are slowly making their way in onto sites. Diffuser is going down. Goonbag also gets dropped off the back of it. Ufix picking up that one. Smoke going on the main window. They have to find some way to get this diffuser disabled. Rice and Arya are still online, looking for something. The run out picks up that kill. Shred getting it, taking it down to a 4v1. The double there, and he picks up a triple to claim Rise Esports their first round in this map.
I mean, great gunplay from Shred. Just picking up those 2 frags onto the repelled players, really good to see.
Yeah, and it will be their first round going into this. Maybe this is the momentum they need to even things up here. It's 2-1 going into round 4. It looks like we'll be heading down to Kitchen for this round, which is, switching out to Blue Bar, where we saw them playing from that first round.
Honestly, it's so rare to see a retake situation work in the defenders side, because retaking on Coastline is just so hard. Like, you play Coastline to not let them plant, to deny plan at all costs, because once the plan is down, then it is just unbelievably hard to retake side and to even go for the defuse.
Yeah, and then clutch smokes coming out of there from Ufixer, denying a lot of the counterplay into that retake, and they weren't able to do it. That and Shred just absolutely annihilating the remaining members of Crusaders Esports, and pretty standard stuff once again. That Echo, though, has been picked up, as well as the Ala. Nothing too different. In fact, nothing different on the side of the attackers here. They still opt into that Gridlock and the Nomad. They are incredibly wary of that roam potential.
Yeah, they really are focused on this roam, and certainly with Wamai and Ella's certainly very powerful in the roam with that scorpion. even with especially with its recent buffs. But I still haven't seen a lot of flanking coming out from the side of Rise. Like I'm still not sure if taking the Nomad and the Gridlock over probably a Capitao or some of the grenades is still the play.
I mean, they've even got the Jackal if they are that worried. Figure out where people are playing around this map. Then they're just opting for that hard denial. Gridlock stingers are just so hard to deal with if they are left to spread. You've got to give up so much information just to deal with them. The Nomad as well, those air jabs are so rough if you are a roamer on the defending side and can be absolutely debilitating. So it's probably what the struggles around the Yokai going out into mainland. There's awareness of what's going on.
The identical round for the one. They're holding blue bar near desk, and you have shreds, but not go down. I think that's actually a great frag from Aria. That's taken now with the echo down. It gets another onto KJ. Again, all this main roam is just completely denied.
Yeah, and it is Aria coming up clutch in this round. And Rice will get another one after Pirate picks up Goonbag. Looking to show a bit off on the side of Rise Esports here, but it is down to UFixer. It's no longer KJ, the man who's been traditionally the one to clutch out these rounds, and it is UFixer on the smoke with that SMG-11 looking to come up large. It is a 1v4, a situation which we have already seen multiple times, and unfortunately Rise just haven't been able to pull it back. He walks out, goes to the wide peak, but it is Dan picking up round 4 for Crusaders Esports, and it is now a 3-1. That's got to be a bit rough. Off the back of winning one round, you just go you fall so easily.
I mean, very similar to the first round we saw. That heavy presence. They had a 4-man roam there this time, but it just got shut down by Crusader. I mean, just the fragging ability on this team is just too much, and it overwhelms the side of Rise.
Yeah, and we are going to see a couple of changes coming in. UFixer switching to that pulse. It was switched out again later on. Kitchen play here. Valkyrie as well being opted into. Jackal picked up by Dan, who was playing that Gridlock. So maybe they have erred on the side of caution, not having to worry so much about that Gridlock, considering that Jackal can reveal those footsteps. But it is potentially, yeah, it is. It's going to be a Goyo locked in as a 6th pick for Pirate.
I like the Goyo. Goyo's good, especially with lots of corridors, big open spaces where Goyo can actually just cut off rotations and cut off any pushes as well. It's good to see the Goyo come out, especially pre-nerf, so...
Yeah, most definitely. There's a multitude of different opinions about how Goyo is in the current state of the game and whether or not he is too overpowered or just ineffective in certain situations. But he has definitely proved himself as a force to be reckoned with in some of these tight angles. Like you said, he is a bit harder to play into, especially when the floor is lava, literally in some of these situations. And it does look like we're going to see another roam play out of this Rise Esports side.
A lot of intel coming out for Rise. You got Echo, Valkyrie, and Pulse. I imagine Pulse is going to hold below a Nitro from Kitchen up into VIP or Theater, or Master actually. But a lot of intel from Rise. I'm not sure how much it's going to do, considering this map is so small and generally can hear anyone pushing. But see if it works out for them. Certainly they're running a lot of Nitro cells. That should be 3 Nitro cells on the board. Hopefully it will allow them to actually deny some of this vertical pressure, which I know Goonbag on the sledge will establish from VIP.
Oh, a spray there coming, almost taking the head of a fixer there in that window. Oh, he was very lucky, but it is going to be the IQ Aria looking through, trying to find that pulse, and he is lucky that he switched out from that heartbeat monitor. He could have been in a lot of trouble, unfortunately, there, but it is a couple of anchors on site here, the Goyo and the Pulse so far sitting in Kitchen. Valk is going to be in main lobby behind the reception desk, and it's a bit more of a homestay play out of Rise Esports this time.
Yeah, they're opting to, especially with Kitchen, they can kind of stay on the same side of the building, which is nice for refrag potential. But it'd be interesting to see how Crusaders actually takes this site. Aria knows there's a Pulse on site. It's good if the IQ stays outside to just deny any nitros from below. But that's the air jab gone, and that means Valkyrie could go for a flank, and with the assumed safety from the side of Crusaders, that could be really huge.
Yeah, I mean, it opens up so many opportunities for the defenders here. It is Goonbag looking straight into Kitchen there. On the other side of that wall will actually be UFixer. Little does he know, though, they are just going to take it a little bit slower. Throwing out the frag grenades. He might be able to pick up a kill here. It's going in deep, and he will pick up that kill onto Pirate Will, opening up the round here. That is the Goyo, and saying that the gadgets are down. Goyo has largely done his job. in this game so far. Unfortunate, Ufixer gets a C4 out onto Snip. That is going to be making things a little bit difficult here. Smoke going out. KJ picks up a kill onto Rice as well. Diffuser is going down. It is currently a 4v3. Smoke, that Goyo shield is dropped there by Goon, trying to deny the rotate. A lot of defenders there in the bathrooms next door to them, and they are just going to be looking to hold the site defensively, deny that retake potential, and the rotates are coming down from Cool Vibe stairs. Almost gets shot in the back of the head there. It's a bit unfortunate. Fanglater getting very lucky. The down onto Goonbag. It is Shred picking up that kill on the Valkyrie. They have the site back. Aria kills KJ. Dan and Aria are incredibly low, sitting outside that window. Fang gets Dan. It is a 3v1. Aria picks up a double for himself in this round. A 2v1 currently. The defuse is going up. Fanglater trying to get it in clutch. He's holding it and he takes it. Rise get round 5.
Wow, that's the plant from Crusaders being what loses in the round. Because
pros don't fake, man. Pros don't fake.
That is true.
Fangalator, just with the nerves of steel, sticks it out, secures the round for Rise, taking it to a 3-2. And it looks like we'll be heading back to Hookah Billiards for this round. And surely that is going to give you some momentum going into round 6.
I mean, you could see the collapse from the roamers of Rise. As soon as that plant went down, this collapsed on site. Echo stuck the plant as you had two watching the window. So it's just good to see a really nice retake. Again, they're not easy to do in Coastline.
Yeah, and we will see the switch out. Vigil instead is going to be the pulse for Pirate there, and it did a bit of work. It almost cost him a couple of times in that last round, but we'll see how things play out now that we are heading upstairs to that Hookah Billiard Bomb site. Pretty standard stuff, looking for those openings onto Cool Vibe stairs. Prep phase, nothing too out of the ordinary, but Shred will be picking up that Mozzie once again, and it's something we've already seen him come out clutch on, but in response, Dan opting for the Dokkaebi this time.
I like Dokkaebi. Good for clearing out any roamers. I mean, it's not like Crusaders had a lot of issue clearing sort of off-site players, but it does really allow it to be so much easier, especially with no mute on board, nothing to actually just deny them in general. Players are able to stop to either turn it off or just let it ring out, and that gives just free intel to the attacking side.
Yeah, most definitely, especially if those cameras get hacked as well. There's so much information gathering possible. With just a couple of bullet holes being opened here by Pirate looking to be a bit sneaky coming into the 6th round.
Certainly have to try something new. This is the 3rd time they're going to blue. Lost it twice. It should... Oh no, so they're going to Hooker, my bad. They've won it once, lost it once. I mean... Hopefully we see something new, especially with the Dokkaebi on board. I'm expecting a new type of strategy coming out from side of Crusaders.
I mean, we saw Shred holding down in Sunrise there. They are looking for some of these tight angles. That little bullet hole is what Pirate is going to be looking to take the head off of one of these attackers here. It is maybe not going to be red here as we see that early penetration into the building with those drones, looking to gather a bit of information. Pirate's just going to dip there. He doesn't want to have to deal with any of this. As the drone has found him on that main door, he might be in a bit of trouble. They have figured out where he is in the kitchen. There's a spray going out. It almost taking down the Mozzie there, I believe it was. And nothing gained. They're going to back off, take it easy, and things will just stale up a bit.
It's actually nice to see the roamers of Rice not being taken out in the first minute this time. It is slowing down the attack quite substantially. I mean, Ash is only just getting into kitchen now. Still no presence upstairs. Just taking slowly into kitchen on this 1st floor, even though site is in, which is a 2nd floor site. Sledge doing some vertical onto the master hatch. Not really useful, considering that I'm pretty sure, yeah, both players have backed out and are now in server.
Yeah, I mean, they've been very aware and very wary of this roam potential out of the defenders so far, so we're not surprised there that the Sledge is trying to read that Goonbag, not wanting to get C4'd out from below, which is, you know, an attacker's nightmare in all honesty, especially with Pirate playing that pulse. And they are just slowly making their way towards the Aqua there, looking for something, looking to try and get some way in onto the site. The camera is down. The shot is going to give them away, though. Heart monitor being used in main lobby. Could potentially see a C4 kill coming out from below. Is, you know,
I really like this hold from Rise. They have the Nitros below. That is Pulse below, who can deny plant for free because there is no one beneath. And they were down to 50 seconds. There's not much presence captured, but Pirate will with a 2-piece, taking out 2 with the Nitro. So that's Diffuser down and accurate well, and then Shred picks up a 3rd. It's fantastic to see from the side of Rise.
A clean run-out double C4 from Pirate Will. There's Shred as well, coming in clutch on that Mozzie. Pirate goes for another run-out, picks up Aria, so he's sitting on a triple in this round. It is looking like we could see this game evening up, Han. This is the closest that you wanted. It's all up to Dan, and Fangalator will clean that up and tie things up in a flawless round for Rise Esports.
I mean, a flawless round. That was off the back of Pirate Will entirely. The 2 with the Nitro, then a run onto the 3rd. Really just one-handedly winning the round.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, it's all it takes, that one hand to throw the Nitro cell up onto that second floor balcony, and we are coming into round 7 here. It looks like we are going to see the first defense round for Crusaders here being played on Blue Sunrise, a mirror of what we saw out of Rise off the bat here. They are going to pick up the Maestro, though, so it is going to be a little bit different, but the attackers, they opted into those Sophia this time. There is no gridlock on the board. And Dokkaebi going to be switched out for Capital. Potentially, they are trying to figure things out, but it's that Capital that you did want to see.
Yeah, I do like seeing the Capital, especially with just how many small corners, and when you push all the defenders back to site, there's really not very many places they can go, and Capital can just capitalize on those known positions.
Yeah, most definitely. It is so hard to play in and around those angles when the floor around you is burning, which I suppose is, it's the selling point of Goyo as well. Reinforcements being set up all over Sunrise and Blue, and in Kitchen as well, trying to deny that flank roam potential. They could look to make some plays out of Kitchen, which we have seen out of Rise. It really comes down to whether or not Crusaders will play that same sort of style, roam heavy or anchor heavy. It is going to be coming down to the last couple of seconds of prep round, and it's definitely gearing up to be an interesting series for sure.
And they're defending the Sunrise and Blue bar. They're holding upstairs. I like to see that. It's good. Keeping that upstairs pressure really means that they don't push out these top floor roamers, and they go for a plant, and they can easily get shot from above. So it's a different hold to what we saw on the defending side of Rise. Not opting for such a heavy main lobby presence. They're opting for a more vertical presence. And we should see how Rise try and go on their first attack round.
Yeah, it's always good to see teams utilizing that verticality that is available with some of these destroyable floors. Is going to be heading up to that second floor, trying to get some early information. There's a lot of players up there on the defender side as well, so we could see some early frags being traded out here. That Super Shorty being used to open up the hatch, just so Rice has some rotate potential if he finds himself caught out up on the roof. It is going to be KJ looking for some sort of information, trying to find some early frags into this game. The heartbeat monitor's going. C4 is out. Unfortunately, they may not be able to get anything. They know that someone is just outside there on the balcony, so we could see an early C4 play.
If they get this kill off with the pre-play C4, it is in a common spot just at the Hall of Fame window, but it seems like KJ knows exactly what they're into, just putting some shots off down into the side of Mute, but not landing any. That's a breach charge right above Mute. Does a bit of damage, not too much though, but certainly the Pulse can get a free frag here with the Nitro, but it doesn't hit.
Yeah, it was a little preemptive there in terms of that C4. Maybe throwing just a little bit early. They probably could have held it just for a little bit longer and picked up that kill, but it is going to be a large amount of stalling in this round so far. We are just hitting the halfway mark. They're taking it easy. A lot of drone use out of the attackers in this game so far, and this angle here could be the one that Rice needs to start things off in this round. A bit of damage onto Goonbag, the only one who has been damaged so far. And this hallway could come and clutch. It is going to be that Ash at the other end. Spray's going out. It is Pirate Will who is going to drop to Aria early on. Aria gets a double kill. And they have cleaned up the start of this round. It was a bit slow, but they have come back into it. There's 3 members left on this Rise Esports side. Crusaders comfortably sitting at 5. Angles being held all over the map. They have the advantage. Spray coming out, and they will find another one. That is Rice picking up Shred. The man who stood out on the Mozzie in the first half gets himself a second, is traded out, though, by KJ. He is the one man left, but he is not enough. Aria gets a triple in the first round of this half, and it's just not enough.
I mean, again, we just see Coastline coming down to raw fragging power. So on the side of Rise, whenever they want those retakes, but again, on the Crusader and these defenses, great 3-piece from Aria, really taking any of that VIP presence. She just shut it down.
Yeah, most definitely. These guys are holding angles spectacularly there. They delayed things out. They waited for the attackers to come to them, which is exactly what you want to be doing as a defender here. It is pretty evident who is doing the majority of the work in this game so far. Aria and Rice have been instrumental in the success that Crusaders have had here so far. Going into round 8, 4-3. It's very, very tight. It's very close. We see a Castle pick and a Maestro. We saw Maestro in the last one, but it really didn't achieve much. And it would be good to see that Evil Eye actually start to have an impact in this game.
The Maestro is still an interesting pick. He's the probably only hard anchor they're going to have. He's going to be sitting on site. It's not surprising that Snip doesn't have any kills. He does play the hard support roles. You don't expect them to get frags, but you do expect them to do the most important role, which is gathering intel. But that's either on the drones or on cams. And I think Snip's doing a really good job of that so far. They're defending Hooker and Billiards. They pretty much defended this site last round by having that two-man hold upstairs with Arya and Rice, who really cleaned up the side of Rise. Shield is probably not optimally placed. Yeah, Goombag's going to retry that one. But we should see...
They can be a bit finicky sometimes, so a little bit of source of frustration. Some time they probably didn't want to be wasting there, and I mean, we are heading into the action phase of this game, and it's just been spectacular so far. And yeah, like you said, Snip hasn't got any kills so far, but he plays such an important role in this Crusader side. And, you know, as much as it does come down to people saying, oh, they were the MVP because they pick up the most frags, a lot of the legwork that got them to that point was done by these support players, gathering that information, giving them the intel they needed to pick up those frags in the first place. And so we are going to see things starting off. Drones coming out left, right, and center. It is going to be Rice on Cool Vibe stairs. We do see the hold from Dan in that entryway there, looking for some sort of cheeky play off the side, waiting for someone to spray through, walk in unaware, and they are looking into Aquarium right now. Nomad is there, Shred, looking for someone behind that bar, potentially looking to find someone. Doesn't look like there is anyone there. Goes for the drone, knows that there's a castle doorway there. Is going to be a bit rough to get into that site. IQ, though, is going to come in clutch. Destroying that Wemai magnet means that they can use a bit more utility getting into the site. Dan takes out the drone there, and it's the slow style of play.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like Shred kind of wasted the drone just throwing it straight into the arms of Dan. But I do like how Crusader's holding. They're not being overly aggressive. They're not holding these more forward positions like Rise did on their defense. They're holding back, waiting for the aggression of Crusader, and then capitalizing on them stacking up, which I really like to see on Coastline.
Yeah, most definitely. Again, looking for that vertical play. It will be Fang later looking for something, but Dan picking up Shred again. It's really rough that, you know, an operator that you have shined on previously is the one to take you down there. Wemai on the cool stairs has just been copped a bit of damage from Pirate Will with those Capital arrows, and more angles being set. There's a lot of crossfires in place so they can look to try and refrag if they do lose any defenders here.
KJ picks up Arya. That's your really impactful play from last round. Your castle dead. That's alright. Utility's down. UMP not the worst gun to lose. Probably the best gun to lose, considering it's not great. Ooh, tight angle from Pirate Will. Could get the Maestro. If he re-peaks, he could get a free kill here. Oh, just below the level of head. Then Snip on just a snippet of health, just hiding away behind that bar.
Yeah, so unfortunate there for Pirate Will. He invested a lot trying to take that kill, but it wasn't really enough. We see the attackers here setting up. We will see the grenade going in. Does land the concussion. Unfortunately, it was only onto Fanger later. Not going to be able to find much here. Another concussion coming out, and it's really rough trying to deal with all of this. Snip has been down here. Spray going out through the walls. So it is effectively a 4v3 in this situation. I don't even know if they're going to be able to get to Snip to be able to bring him back up. But bullets flying left, right, and center.
Might matter. We've got Dan below with a Nitro. If he gets this kill, he stays alive with a Nitro, so we can actually take that plant. But he's getting contested by Zofia, who should be able to pick up this kill. Yes, nice shot onto Dan. Now the defuse is possible with no Nitro below, but only 5 seconds left. They have to start sticking it now.
They have taken their time indeed, and they are being denied under the site. It's all down to Goonbag, and they do it. They deny the diffuser plant, and Crusaders will win round 10 there. But taking a bit too long there on this part of Rise Esports, and it does mean they just miss out there.
Yeah, that's how I like how Crusaders playing. They're really not getting aggressive. They really are waiting for Rise to initiate this push, initiate the site take, and then they're just drawing them in and then getting the important frags. Even with the Maestro going down, who is really your really important side anchor, it's just good to see. A Monty pick coming out from the side of Rise, clearly changing things up because running the 5 guns isn't working.
Yeah, although it is going to be 6 picked out into that Capital once again. We do see Snip picking up the Goyo here as we are heading into kitchen service entrance. And it has been rather popular down in on that site as well as the Legion. Going to be looking again for that roam denial, but for the attackers this time, those traps can be huge, giving away information and stalling things out.
I do like the swap onto Goyo. He's can be much more impactful than the Maestro, who's got those evil eyes which can't be moved after Maestro dies, which isn't always great, but the Go is certainly a really impactful. Any operator can pop those and He's probably going to set them up. Yep, he's setting them up in the service entrance tonight, and he's pushing for default plant, which is pretty common.
Yeah, it's a trade out of information gathering, and rather than that, they've opted for the stall tactics. It's mostly what the Goyo offers: delaying the attack push, not denying them the entry in onto some of these key angles, and that's what's been done. They're destroying these soft walls in and around kitchen as well. So we might be seeing some cheeky angles being set up here. As it will last-minute reinforcement will be dropped by Goonbag there. They are just opting for a bit of a more spread-out setup here again.
Yeah, this is one of the rounds we see that they're actually having more off-site presence. Even though it is still just upstairs above them, it is still off-site presence. And in the past, we've actually seen Crusader use any off-site presence, like besides just above the site or in close, like holding kitchen when they're bars. But now we actually only have 2 on site and actually 3 on the run.
Yeah, it looks like they can try and assert some vertical pressure. Being up on that top floor does mean that any sort of entrance by the attackers is going to be contested and makes that vertical play a lot harder. It is going to be KJ in the building already on that Zofia, looking to pick up an early frag, give them the advantage they need going for this round. It is the Legion. They're shredded. Picks up that first kill onto Snip, though, which is the Goyo. He's done his work. Pirate picks up a kill onto Goonbag. 2 quick frags in the round. Take things to a 5v3. KJ finds Rice as well. There are 2 defenders left, and there are still 2 minutes left in the round. It is up to Dan and Aria, the Mozzie and the Wemai. KJ sitting up on that bench. They're looking for something. It will be Dan rotating up. He is up by Billiards. He is rotated around as well, looking for that vertical play. He is above Aria, so they do have support in the area if need be. It's a long rotate from Dan here, looking to back up his teammate. Looking to set up into the kitchen is the attackers. Aria deep in the site, looking to try and stall things out until he can get some support. Spraying down into service entrance. The Goyo shield is there. He almost had the shot onto it. He has found some of these sprays going out. Unfortunately, he gets traded out. The burn is enough to pick up Pirate Will. KJ picks up Aria, though. So a 1v4, and Fangalator is going to be the one to deny that round from Crusaders as Rise pick up round 9.
I mean, straight dominating round from Rise, getting 3 kills, like all in quick succession, and that leaves 1 left on site and 1 upstairs. We're just locking out Crusader from their own hold. You can see when they extended hold, keeping players offside, it didn't really work out for them. They like having this full of 3 or 4 man group who is just really stuck to the site. But this time they had 3 offside and it didn't work out for them.
Oh, yeah, it's just this roaming deathball strategy that they almost tried to adapt there. Playing offsite and then looking for the retake, just making it look that little bit easier. It didn't work out in the end. And we find ourselves in a position where it is 5-4 going into round 10. It is still in favor of Crusaders Esports, but Rise are just giving them a run for their money.
Yeah, certainly. This is the close siege we're hoping to see. Like, certainly round for round going. We had a 3-3 half. Like, that's the closest you can get. It's 3-3. And it's just good to see that these teams are going blow for blow.
Yeah, most definitely. It's what you want to be seeing. You want to see those games where you don't know who has taken the game until the last minutes, and this is what it's feeling like. Rise definitely feel like they're in a position to be able to take this map away from Crusaders, and this is exactly what we want. We want this to go to a 3-game series. It's always what you want to be seeing in Rainbow Six. It makes for good watching. It makes for good views as well, and the preparation phase is quickly coming to an end. There's some pretty standard setups here from this Crusader side. So what we've been seeing from them so far, that roam setup as well, but they've seemed to have invested a little bit more into it in the later rounds in this game.
I think they're doing the same hold as they did the first round, and to their benefit, it did work out really well. I mean, they didn't even get close to the side of Rise, just halted by Aria and Rice, holding Cool Vibes and in Aqua respectively. So it should be interesting to see what they do here. I mean, Office is clear right now, so they could go for a fast push into blue. They only have 2 on site, on the side of Crusader, so could see a change up from Rise if they have the information they need.
Yeah, Goonbag almost being taken there through one of the drone holes by Fangalator. They're looking for some of these interesting angles, trying to find those unexpected areas where they could pick up any form of advantage. Air jabs going down, looking for these tight angles in onto the bomb site as well. It is Fangalator. He has the support there onto the flank by KJ, I do believe it was. And again, it's just they're looking for that advantage they can develop to the point where, you know, people won't expect it. People won't understand why they've just died because it's not something they even contemplated. And that's what we're seeing out of Rice. He's above the hatch right now, but we have a pulse on the board. Dan has found some of the attackers. He's found 2, and we might see some shenanigans here. using that heartbeat Senate, looking to give the information to his teammates. And, I mean, they have control in and around the bomb site, these attackers, and it's going to come up to a retake. I wouldn't be surprised at all.
No hard breach on the side of Rise, though, which means they can't actually open up that blue wall. They have to barrel in straight to that tiny doorway, which they can just get funneled into someone's spray. And if they have shotgun holes from above, that's just a death trap for the side of Rise. Which is not running a thermite, not running the Habana's banned, sorry, but not running a thermite is really a mistake, especially when you take an office to blue sort of attack strategy.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of shotgun holes, it was Goonbag delivering the 12 gauge pump to Pirate Will's face. You fix it down right now. That is the IQ. The gadget finder is going to be off. They do get the they do get the pickup. So it will be U-Fixer still in this round. Very low though. And they do have to commit a little bit just to be able to pick that one up. And it's still that vertical play coming out of this Crusaders Esports side. The rappel there outside the window. They're looking to make something happen. The flash goes in. Rice turning away, so he will be able to see what is going on.
Look at the positioning of Arya. She's deep in server. She could go for an amazing play and just completely cut off. Rice picks up one into Fangler. That's your Ash down. But yeah, Arya on this flank but gets spotted out by the Zofia. Has to pull back. Now, Shred actually not in a too bad a position. Can go for the plan. But yeah, those shotgun holes from above. Dan take out the diffuser. Now in a 1v3, what can KJ do?
I mean, we've seen this man in this exact spot time and time again. There have been a couple of times where he's picked up frags, but it hasn't been enough. The heartbeat sensor does allow Dan to take KJ down to half health. They know exactly where he is. He has been scouted out. Arya coming in. There's 12 seconds left in the round. C4 was used just to give a bit of vision onto that bottom floor. KJ going for the wide run, trying to get it onto the bomb site, but the jump out from Rice does secure that kill, and Crusaders will extend that lead just a little bit further.
Yeah, the push from just Rise, not good from the start. They attempted to go for an office into blue, but you really need a hard breach for that take. You have to open that blue wall, because otherwise you get funneled into the doorway. And with no upstairs presence either, they could just easily get shot from above, and that's just another round for Crusaders. Actually a pretty dominating round.
Yeah, they really have struggled trying to deal with this blue Sunshine bar hold. You know, Rise, I don't think they've actually succeeded in being able to protect it at all, or even get in onto the site when they were playing on this attacker half, so they might have to adjust the strategy. We are heading back to Hookah Lounge Billiards, and we will see that Castle and Maestro coming out once again. This is a defining round in the game. It is map point as well, so will Rise be able to claw it back and take this to overtime, or are Crusaders going to shut out map 1 and take us to our second game of the series?
Coastline is the map pick of Rise. This is the map Rise wanted to go to. They didn't get their site choice initially, but this is where Rise wanted to go. This is the map they chose. They could have chosen Consulate or Villa or Theme Park, but no, they chose Coastline. And Crusaders up 2 rounds on match point. It's looking like a lockout, especially because it's back up in Hooker, which they won pretty decisively last time we were here. So I'm expecting a 7-4 from Crusader.
Yeah, I mean, it has been reasonably close, all said and done. Snip still, unfortunately, bottom of the scoreboard, despite his team being up 2 rounds. Rice putting in a commanding performance right now, 11-1-5. Playing that Wemai in this round, has played a multitude of different operators on this defensive side, and they are getting things ready. Magnets going out into Aquarium. They are prepping for a hard engage into the site. They are prepping for a lot of utility as well. Having that Jaeger off the board, it means that Wemai has put on a huge performance on both teams so far in this game.
I mean, the impact of Wemai is like just everything. Without him, I mean, if he wasn't in the game, like if this was a season ago and quarantined, you just wouldn't be able to ban a Jaeger. You couldn't ban a Jaeger. Even if you were attacking first, you shouldn't ban him, because once you get to the vent side, you know how hard it is to play without one.
Yeah, I mean, aggressive spray out from Dan and that east side doorway does take U-Fixer reasonably low. Dan took up the bit of damage himself, but it was favourable. Dan picks up the kill onto U-Fixer, finishing that off. KJ, though, trades him out. So we find ourselves in a 4v4, 2 minutes, 15 seconds left to go.
Yeah, not the worst loss from the side of Crusader. The MPX, not a high damage gun, but still was a nitro cell off the board, which a minute in isn't the worst in a 4-4. Still very possible for either team to win.
Yeah, most definitely. We will see that Zofia impact grenade blowing open that castle window. And he is aware of it. Rice, though, picks up the kill onto Fangulator. He did take a decent chunk of damage in return, so he is sitting pretty low. Isn't going to be that hard for them to trade him out. It is currently a 4v3, a minute 40 left in the round. So they are just taking it slow, looking to find any advantages they can. Rice, though, is going to be heading downstairs to main lobby. Snip, again, anchoring hard on this B site with the Maestro and that big machine gun.
I mean, this is a 4-on-3, and they have 2 people on the roof still. Like, that's really slow. And I think Rice should pick it up a little bit. Like, yeah, you got 1 trip down to hook about now. That's the Capitao. Has 2 smoke grenades left. They could try and go for a smoke plant, but it doesn't work out as well as it does in CSGO.
Yeah, I mean, it has been rather stalled out. The grenades flying in behind that bar, trying to figure out if anyone is there. Multiple prone defenders in and around these sites, trying to gain that advantage. A minute left. It is coming down to the clutch moments of this map. And it does look like Crusaders are currently in a position where they could shut this out. Rise Esports map, like you said, are they going to be able to pull it back, though? It is going to be all up to Shred, Pirate, and KJ. KJ has come in clutch a couple of times. Spray's going out. The smoke is there, though. The denial in onto the site from Goonbag. He's throwing it down. KJ will pick up Snip. It is now a 3v3. He is very low, though. So is Pirate. Spray's going out left, right, and center. Another smoke out. That concussion in onto Aria from the Zofia. They're looking to try and set up these angles. Rice is low. He's looking for the Spray out that door, and Hookah. Spray coming in return. Pirate picks up Aria, though, so it's now a 3v2. Rice is low. Goonbag is full health. Still has plenty of smokes. 20 seconds left in this round. They need to make a push now, or they're going to find themselves ending this map with a loss. Rise Esports need to go big. It's all up to Shred, Pirate, and KJ. Concussions and air jabs being used. The diffuser is being planted here. Shred trying to clutch it out. Will be traded out. Rice getting Pirate, though. The diffuser is down. A 2v1, and Rice will be cleaned up by Shred. Rise pulling it back in those clutch moments.
Oh, coming right down to the wire. Diffuser going down with only like a couple of seconds left, and yeah, just Rice come out on top with those frags, especially with low HP players. It was very possible for Rice to win that out. But Rice comes out on top. Rice. It's very...
Yeah, it makes it fun when you have very, very similar names on opposite teams. But again, it comes down to that pros don't fake. Shred stuck it out. He got the diffuser down, almost being cleaned up by Goonbag there. We just had those nerves of steel. 5-6 currently. This is as close as it gets, as it has been in this tournament anyway. Looking at the scoreboard, Rice, 13 kills, KJ with 11. A lot of work has been put into this game. Unfortunately, poor Snip has yet to get a frag in this game. He's done so much work in terms of the utility and providing information for his team going into this, but he has yet to hit the scoreboard running.
It's actually hard to see Snip in 0-7, especially when he's not even getting beaten in gunfights. He's getting picked off. Like, he's getting accidentally killed when they're going for someone else. Or he's in a position they expect, and he's just chilling, and nothing's going wrong, and then he stands up and he's dead. Like, there's not much he can do. But he's certainly really putting the team on his back when it comes to the utility and the intel. Like, I imagine he's the main camera operator. He's going on all these cams inside, telling the roamers, especially Rice, where they can go, where they can't go. And on the attacking side, you could definitely see him on the drones constantly, just really allowing people like Rice, people like Aria to be on those 13 kills and those 9 kills.
Yeah, it's definitely the enabler of those entry fraggers and those star players, which do sort of get the shout out for having those multiple kills to allow them to do their job. And Snip, I mean, he's put in work so far. He's constantly been overwhelmed holding these angles on site, and it's really unfortunate to see him. We see him once again on that Hookah site, and he's going to be doing his job, sitting on those evil eyes, sitting on the cameras. We see him right now. He's looking for that information. He has scouted out Fangalator, so they know exactly where he is. And this is where, you know, you separate the good players from the great players. Can Rise bring it back on their map despite being down? It is going to come up to these next few minutes.
I mean, that's a default cam he's looking on. That's literally 2 players are right below it, and they're not taking it out. It's free intel for the defending team, which they shouldn't have. They shouldn't have it. The cam's right behind the side of no. I think they shut it out now, but like that's intel that Snip is getting that he shouldn't be allowed to get.
Yeah, most definitely. And it is going to be just a standard hold from what we've seen these players so far. It is going to be the Castle sitting there on Cool Vibe stairs looking to gain some information. The vertical play coming out of Fangalator looking for some of these tight angles in on that east side. And Dan listening on the hatch, looking for the spray onto Shred. Finds some damage, but it's not enough. Rise. Shred has just got away by the skin of his teeth. Pirate picks up the first kill of the round. That is Rice, one of the big players on this Crusader side. The peak's coming out quickly. Aria does trade him out, though, so it is now back into a 4v4.
That's your Capitao dead too, with no smokes used, no firebolts you pick up from Aria.
Yeah, and it is getting tense right now. Rise have picked back the diffuser up, and They're just looking for some sort of advantage in this game. Snip on the side. Goonbag takes a huge chunk of damage on that smoke. That is that site entry denial. Dan hugging that wall, waiting for someone to push through and just not expecting the drone. Hasn't spotted him out. It might turn around. I don't think they've actually realized he's there. They do. They spray him through the door. The damage is coming out. He cops a bit of it. We'll just rotate it in behind the couch. They know exactly where he is. We might see that vertical play coming out. Fangalator finds Dan. It is now a 4v3. This is where it starts to count. A minute left in the round. Goonbag is already low. Arya and Slip have a lot of work to do to secure this win for them. It is match point. They are looking to drone out. Slip sitting there looking through that hatch with that big bad machine gun. Arya looking down onto Cool Vibe stairs. We will see that breach charge being used to open up the castle wall. They are pressuring this site now. It is coming in clutch. It is getting very close. 35 seconds rather left in this game. The smoke denial coming out again from Goonbag. He has been consistently in on this site doing exactly that, trying to stall out these attackers. 25 seconds. We have seen this before, Han. They have been in a situation where it doesn't look like they can clean things out. 20 seconds left in the game. Will Goonbag be able to clutch it out with Snip and Arya's help? Those smokes have been so instrumental right now. 10 seconds. They have to make a play or they risk losing it all in game one. Arya has been dropped. Fangalator gets that kill. Snip doing what he can. 2, 1, and it looks like it will be potentially. No, they've got the diffuser started and KJ picks up that kill. He's evened it up.
Rise pushing it to overtime in a 4-on-3 really intense situation, just taking out that smoke. Who could deny up to 30 seconds with those smoke canisters, but really good display from Rise on that attacking side. Like, just pushing Crusader back to that rear hooker side, and then the flank coming in behind, taking out Arya, taking out the Maestro. Or the Maestro getting the frag, sorry. But it just completely took the attention of both hooker players away from the plant and towards that flanking player.
Look, I will be the first to admit I am rather new to casting Rainbow Six Siege. I think this is maybe my 4th game that I had ever casted, and this is just so exciting to see this close a game coming out on day 3 of Season 3 with the AEC Rainbow Six Minor League. It's so close right now. 6-6 as we head to overtime. Rise on the attacking side. Crusaders back in defense. Where are we going to be hitting first? It's all up to Crusaders to finish this one out. It's going to be starting off. The prep phase is underway. It is going to be a good one.
We're in overtime now, which the sides get chosen randomly, and it's given the more favourable side, the attacking side, to Rise. It is a 3-round overtime, sorry, so it means the first team to hit 8 will take the win for this map and lock out Coastline. You can see the side of Crusader going to their best side. So that's the double bars. They haven't lost it yet. But Rise is looking really strong on their attacks, actually. They're not running a hard breach again. If they go for an office take, might actually lose the round again. But hopefully they've read into what the mistakes they did last time and are going for a different sort of push.
Yeah, I mean, Sunrise Blue has been the bane of Rise's existence up until this point. They have been extremely level-headed, though, in the last couple of rounds, bringing it to that overtime, clutching out very, very late rounds, time after time to bring us to this point. Will they be able to do it again on Blue Sunrise? It's only a matter of time until we find out, and these players are just putting in some maximum effort right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to see that Rise didn't kind of fall under the pressure. I mean, 2 rounds down, and you got your defense coming to one of their better sides, but Rise is staying strong. They stayed level-headed. Yeah, they just pushed through, and they took the win. So now in overtime, it'll be interesting to see what can come out. I imagine Crusader would be pretty strong again on this side. It doesn't look like they've droned out the Wamai.
Yeah, I mean, IQ looking for gadgets and goodies all over the map right now. They are looking for this rather interesting kitchen hold here, holding those tight angles. The drone does spot out Arya. He's going to have to do something here. He might get rotated in on. The spray's going out. Neither of them cop any damage in that situation. It has been so very close up until this point, and it is on a knife's edge as to which way it goes. Damage coming out onto Arya. Spray. He's got 2 players there that he's looking at. Fangalator has taken a bit of damage. The concussion has been used, trying to stun him up a wee bit. And it is so very, very close right now. Arya has to do something. He will throw out the magnet, trying to deny that utility into the site, trying to keep himself a little bit alive. The utility going in. It will be the Whammy magnet, picking up those flashes. Sprays again and going to that doorway. Fang is so low. KJ's taking a bit of damage right now. Arya is doing a lot of work. He picks up the kill, gets traded out though. Euphorix picks up Goonbag. KJ picks up Arya. They lose Shred, which is that Nomad, the roam potential denial. a current 4v3, but Fangulator and KJ are so low right now.
Right on this flanking, holding in Master actually. He could actually get a really nice rotate behind the players currently pushing Kitchen, who are low. KJ's only on 50 HP. Fangulator's only on about 10. He could actually pick up two pretty easy frags if they have their backs turned around, aware of his positioning.
And yeah, we are heading into the final minute of this first overtime round. Capital Bolt does go out that flame arrow, looking to flush someone out. Rice going for a bit of a rotate threat here, trying to come in and behind those attackers. It is getting late in this round. The defenders are holding those tight angles, trying to shut this one out. They want to be able to take this. Crusaders have put up a massive performance. Not to say that Rise hasn't, but I mean, they came out swinging early, and the resilience shown by Rise at the moment has been stunning. 25 seconds left in the round. We've seen this time and time again, Han. Rise excel in this situation. They go from 0 to 100 in a matter of seconds.
The outer in the hand of Snip, he could pick up a lot of frags. Yeah, Rice coming flank now, attacking side down. All he's trying to do is just slow him down a bit. If you can get a pick, that's great. Yes, he takes one into your Fixer, but Pyro takes one into Snip. Dan gets one into Pirate Will. Now, in a 2v2, what can they do? Diffuser goes down, but Rice with the swing takes out 2, denying the Diffuser, winning the 7th round for Crusader. Fantastic display from Rice with a great flank.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Rice had the most travel distance in that round so far. He went almost all the way entirely around that map. We'll be switching over now. So Rise heading to defense. It'll be Rice heading to attack, in fact, as Crusaders are the attackers in this round.
I mean, that round was looking pretty bad for the Santa Crusaders. They didn't have the man advantage. They were being pushed out. But then Rice with the flank, because that Nomad was killed, they don't have that ability to deny any of that any rotates. And Rice completely capitalized, took out the IQ, and then swung for the diffuser and the Zofia covering. Really well done by Rice.
Yeah, and we are heading to Hookah Lounge Billiards Room for the second round of this overtime. Shreddit back on his Mozzie. Pirate is back on his Vigil. And we are going to be seeing a pretty standard attack setup. Goonbag playing the Sledge. Nomad there on Snip. What are we going to be seeing bring out? It's exactly the same stuff we've been seeing so far. And I can only imagine. I wouldn't even be surprised if we see this go the full distance of overtime.
I mean, putting out something really important. The man himself, Snip, has got his first kill. It's huge. It's massive. It changes the game. It's meta changing. Got his first kill. That's great to see from Snip that he's finally on the board. And, not a second too soon. Yeah,
I mean, that's it. Snip's unlocked. This game is over. It's in Crusader's hands. I mean, even in saying that, look at Rice, 16, 1, and 7. The guy has just been phenomenal up until this point. You saw him in the last one, that rotate swing in behind the attackers, denying the eventual plant and the dying moments of those rounds. 8 seconds left in the prep phase. We are Hookah Billiards. This is going to be a clutch one for sure. Are they going to be able to defend it? Is it going to be Rise pulling it out again, evening things up, or are Crusaders going to take things away from Rise on their own map?
Yeah, I mean, that swing from Rice, just closing out the round, I mean, it's just really good to see from him. Like, he's going 16 and 7, and it shows. It shows why he's the entry frag, why he's on Ash, why he's on the road, because he can back up his roaming and back up his game knowledge with really good mechanical skill.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be hugely demoralizing getting onto the site, getting the diffuser down, then all of a sudden, that Mozzie, the petite man running in behind you and just cleaning you up. So we are into the action phase. It is all kicking off. A lot of these tight angles being held by the defenders, looking to try and catch the defenders unaware. Unfortunately, though, it's KJ not realizing that there was a drone there. He may have been spotted out here, as we are going to see people entering in into the building anyway. It is going to be Dan pushing in first with that Zofia. And again, it's those tight angles being held here. The defenders, unfortunately, Pirate is not going to be doing that well enough. Dan picks up the first kill of this round so far. Aria follows it closely with a second. A 3v5 in favor of the Crusaders, and they're going on the hunt. KJ drops to Rice. 5v2. Surely this is Crusaders' round.
I mean, we see this time and time again from Crusader. They're really getting these roamers, and they're just shutting them down straight away. There's no letting them chill anywhere. They're just destroying them, and it shows every single round. Pretty much when Rise has this roam presence, it just gets shut down.
Yeah, and it's 1:25 on the clock to go in this round. Overtime match point for Crusaders. They have the potential to take this into map 2. I don't see a situation where Rise are able to clutch it out and take us to a 7-7 map here on Coastline. The utility is being used right now. They are pressuring in onto the site. There are defenders in on Hookah. The smoke coming out repels as well. It is Arya going to be upside down looking for some tight angle onto the defender. The spray going out. Fangalator is down. A 5v1. It's all up to you, Fixer. He is low and it won't even be a contest. He drops a flawless round to shut things out for Crusaders.
I mean, 4K from Arya just takes out 2 roamers and then gets the 2 side holders. I mean, you can't ask for more.
Yeah, and that is exactly why Arya has been awarded the MVP at the end of that game. The dude came in clutch time and time again for his team. And it will be Crusaders taking out Rise Esports map, that Coastline pick. We will be heading to theirs, though, in the next one. Clubhouse. If they play the exact same way they have been, Han, we could see another very long map out of these 2 teams.
I'm so glad it went to overtime, especially against these 2 teams that actually, like, were pretty close. I mean, those last couple of rounds were pretty... Oh, the first overtime round wasn't that decisive. Rice with a great swing, but that last round, a flawless victory. I mean, it shows how good Crusaders is, especially against these roam plays. And, I mean, Clubhouse being a defender-sided map, if Crusaders can keep up this level of attacker-sided aggression and this level of attacker-sided proficiency in taking out these roamers, it could be another long match, or it could be a very short one.
Well, I mean, in saying that, Rise Esports showed some absolutely monumental resilience, going the full distance. They took it to an overtime, which is something we didn't expect, seeing how those last couple of rounds went before we headed into it. And I mean, it was just great seeing KJ come in clutch time and time again. Fangalator shred it. They just had some of these moments where in the dying moments of those attacking rounds, we didn't think they were going to be able to do it. They pull it out despite everything that was going on. So this has potential to be a great one going into map 2, but we are going to chuck it to a quick break. The players have to get themselves sorted. We have to get ourselves sorted after that game. It was close. It was exciting. I need a bit of a breather and a drink, so don't go anywhere, guys. We'll chuck it to a quick ad break and we'll be right back with the next one.
Rising of the ashes, coming from the ether. All I hear is static. Breathe a little deeper. Fallen, broken, a million light years away from home. My eyes opened, and now I've come to claim life. Never let it go. These wings carry me. Live this fantasy. Running through the fire, gonna let it burn.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the AEC Rainbow Six Minor League Tournament. We are here for day 3. I am Blue Panda, joined once again by Han. What a game we saw for map 1 of the series between Rise and Crusaders.
I mean, brought all the way to overtime, 8-6 in the favor of Crusaders. really good match to see. Really good match to cast. It was just fantastic all around.
Yeah, it looked like Crusaders were going to shut it out towards the end of that, but Rise coming in clutch towards the end of it. We are now heading to Crusaders map pick, in fact, which is going to be Clubhouse. We are heading into the bans. It will be Rise on defense to start off with, and Crusaders on attack. Thatcher, a pretty standard ban at the moment.
Probably the most standard ban besides Maverick for this map.
Yeah,
I don't see Maverick banned here. I better be seeing him picked every single round because he's so strong on this map.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, denying that hard breach, the only way to deal with it is the Maverick, and it has been banned away. So they are going to have to be doing some interesting things, trying to get in on these sites. There's only so many different ways to be able to do that. Comes a lot down to, the Zofia player around that CCTV cache hold, trying to open that external wall. Cade are going to be banned out here.
Interesting ban. I'm surprised they're taking over the Mirror or the Echo, but it's not too unusual. Considering with Maverick and Thatcher banned, Cade is so strong for that arsenal. Just because there's no way to take it off really. So it's not a surprising ban, but very a targeted ban at that Arsenal site. Yeah,
most definitely, and it will be Maestro, the final ban here for this Rise team. That's an interesting one for sure. Usually it's the likes of the Echo, the Mirror, but no Maestro, no Cade going to be played in this one.
Okay, so I mean having Maverick and Thatcher banned on attack is pretty standard. Most teams know how to play without either of them. You have your Buck, you have your Zofia. You can play below. You can open up below cache. You can open up gym. You can open up the windows, the door, everything like that. But not having the Thatcher and Maverick means it does take a bit longer, and it does expose them to getting killed and to getting fragged. So hopefully we see a sort of aggressive defense maybe coming from the side of Rise, who really kind of need to take this map. This is Crusaders' pick, and they have to take it to push it to that third map.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. They lost their own map pick. Surely it would be just for them to take away their opponents, as we are going to be heading downstairs, down to that basement site to start off with Church and Arsenal. And without that Cade, it does make the Hatch defense just that little bit harder. Hibana can pick those up, and it's definitely going to be an interesting one for sure, especially considering that Buck, which was banned in the last map, is now going to be on Dan, in his hands at least anyway.
They're going for an SSG roam. It's called the SSG roam because SSG... People first saw it when SSG did it. It means they don't have to run the Cade. It's interesting they're not running a Jaeger or a Wamai. Because it's available. Why not take it? Why not take it in favor of... I mean, I understand the Mozzie, because it can deny those drones, and I understand the mute. But why not take it to the Vigil? Why not actually have something to help the defenders, help the roamers even, hold down their angles from grenades or utility? But yeah, the SSG shot will come in, which means the Cade ban actually isn't too bad, because they actually opened that Moto hatch. Above the drop outside Church, so hopefully Rise can actually get something done. Holding the SSG room works because it keeps pretty much a 3-story vertical pressure, which means if they push onto site, you can collapse down on top of them. If they push you upstairs, it delays time for almost like 2 minutes if you do it properly. And hopefully we see Crusaders they could do a fast take, because there are only 2 players on site with the UMP not the best gun, and Legion solo holding that Church and blue side.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we're looking to see. They are doing some interesting stuff. Obviously, they are going to look to that tunnel. They've got the thermite available as well. And so it is going to come down to that vertical play to see whether or not these defenders can actually retake the site. They have a number of different attackers in position to potentially contest some sort of roam. And it really will come down to how cleanly these defenders can pull off this strategy, because, yeah, it's good and all to try and practice it after watching the pro players do it, but it's a far sight difference to be able to pull it off effectively yourself.
Yeah, you see Rice pushing down Dirt Tunnel. He's getting aggressive because he knows there's only 2 players on site. They don't even have to drone it. Just based on the fact that they're bringing a castle, they know there are only 2 players on site. Now, I think he had just one, rotating down main stairs. Hopefully, I think there's a Vigil coming down. But, a fast take. This could be interesting. A triple drop coming out from Crusaders, just pushing down. That's Legion fragged. Yes, that's both site players down. They have full site control.
I mean, it's you pop in the chute, you drop into the ground. 5v2 currently. Rise Size with a double. Pirate will pick up the kill onto Goonbag with that impact. The diffuser has been put down. Dan picks up the kill, and Crusaders 0 to 100 in about 6 seconds. Take round 1 on their map.
I love the 3-man hatch drop down into blue. That was great. They know they only have 2 players on site, and the other players are pushed back to main stairs and pushed back to Moto. What are they supposed to do? What's the defending team supposed to do when they leave 2 people inside and they drop and they get fragged straight away? Diffuser's going down within seconds of that hatch being opened, and that's just the round locked out there. A 3-man advantage and a 4v1 for the final player for Rise, and they can't do anything. It's really nice to see from Crusaders. They read perfectly into the weakness of the SSG roam.
Yeah, and we are going to be heading to CCTV cache. At this point, I'm pretty sure that these unfortunate defenders of Rise Esports still aren't even sure what just happened to them. It happened so quickly. You see the replay there on your screen, and it was just over in a matter of seconds. They all got in on the site. They were able to set things up, and the defenders, caught completely by surprise, were just wiped out one by one. And the prep phase is starting up.
If the side of Rise read into what Crusaders were doing a bit earlier, they could have actually rotated players down to site, and if they dropped onto a site full of the defenders, they pretty much lose that, because you can't actually just push them out when you're taking, a rotate into Church, a door into Arsenal, and dirt door as well. Like, against a full side of defenders, that doesn't win. But
yeah, there's only so many big brain plays you can make. You can read into the play, you can read into the counterplay, but at that point you've got to wonder, maybe you've overthought things, and we'll see a bit of a standard setup all said and done from them going into round 2.
Certainly, they're taking a different side. I think that's probably wise, so I can test the waters a bit, see what the strengths and weaknesses of the Crusaders Clubhouse attacking side is. They're bringing a pretty similar lineup. There's Thermite and Hibana, both hard breach, not surprising. You also got your Arya on IQ. She was very useful last match, especially with that 552 commando. Rice on the Ashe, again, top fragger for last game, really influential player. Not surprised to see him on the entry frag.
Yeah, drones going in. They found the A bomb site. They know it is upstairs and around that cache. CCTV area, they're looking for these lines of sight, which is so instrumental in getting advantages. Castle, seeing that drone, they know exactly where he is. So they are going to be looking for these tight angles, and they might go for a contest there, but no, it's just going to back it off. And bullets spraying through already, and without that Zofia, they really are going to struggle to deal with this the bandit.
Yeah, certainly not being able to... normally you want to take below. But Dan, great kill into Shredded. That's your dead. The person who was playing in bar. So now they only have that one person, that Mozzie in that swamp. Usually, yeah, you see the butt coming below. He's going to open up below that main wall so they can breach it. But with you fix it holding aggressive angle, that's going to stop it. But Rice picks up one onto Will. He's in Rafter. That's Rafter's control. That's huge. Oh, no, my perspective's all wrong. Jaeger's still holding Rafter.
Yeah, they are going in aggressive. Ufixer picks up a trade out onto Arya, though, so now it is just a 4v3. That is also the IQ now gone. KJ holding it onto Walkway in the garage there as well. The floor is being opened up by the Buck. Fangalator getting a bit of a surprise there, looking behind him, seeing that the floor was gone. Ufixer is reasonably low right now. The frag being used, just being primed there by Dan, holding it. Not able to find anything, unfortunately. Rice, the man, who's been instrumental in getting these early frags, getting the early advantage for Crusaders here, has those 3 kills already into this round 2. Buck, the man being played by Dan, is holding that angle in onto CCTV as well. They are looking for something. There is a minute left in this round so far. They are going to have to pull the trigger eventually. So the Nitro Cell comes out. Fangalator finding the top fragger for Crusaders here, and that's going to be a huge blow for the attackers right now.
Yeah, I mean, it evens out the numbers, but Crusaders still in a favourable position. They have that main wall open. They have presence. They've got cash wall open too. Like, it's looking good for the side of Crusaders. Now they're pushing in breach, but Mute's holding close. Could get some multiple kills. But no, he misses. Snip taking out Fangalator. Great frag. Now he's safe to put the diffuser down.
Yeah, spray's coming out through these soft walls as well. The diffuser is being held there by Snip. Dan and Goobad still alive as well. Snip is reasonably low. It's all up to KJ and Ufixer. The flashes are being used there, unfortunately, onto their own team. Ufixer cleans up Snip, a double kill there. Dan trades out KJ, so it is all up to this Mozzie, who has next to no health in this fight here. He has
with
so
the
much
Roni,
to
a
do.
low damage gun, it doesn't look good, especially Goobag holding a close angle next to that workshop table. Could use a free frag for him. He swings out, but no! Great shot from Ufixer onto Goobag. Now in a 1-on-1 with 18 seconds left. What can he pull?
Yeah, he might have been low, but all it takes is that one shot in onto the head. 12 seconds left. He has to hit Dan here. He is clutching out the defuse. We've seen this before. He's looking for it. The shotgun, the skeleton key opens up the wall. It was an attempt, but unfortunately it was shut down quite quickly by Dan on the butt.
The low time on the diffuser really being Ufixer's only issue with that take. I mean, it was a great shot onto the Habana, and it was very possible to win. With a little bit more time, he could have probably clutched that out, but just running down the clock, really well done from Crusaders, and that's their second attacking win on Clubhouse.
Yeah, and we are going into round 3. It looks like we'll be heading back down to the basement here. And I wonder if we'll see them approach this with the same strategy we saw in the first round. We saw how quickly it was undone by Crusaders here, so probably looking at maybe a bit of an adaptation going into this round 3.
Yeah, they're going back to Church and Arsenal. They are running the castle again. If they're going for another SSG roam, I'm sure they probably have something more in place to stop that 3-man hatch drop, or to stop any sort of fast pushes from Crusaders. So hopefully we'll see something a bit different here, and hopefully Rice can put up more of a fight against the pretty dominating lineup from Crusaders so far.
Yeah, most definitely. The prep phase coming out. Now, they've got the Legion as well. Those goo mines are going to be a bit rough to deal with if not picked up by Arya, and especially if Arya does get picked off early, which we have seen a couple of times in this situation. KJ on the Mozzie this time. We have seen him more often than not on the Wemai, but that is not going to be the case. We have yet to see Wemai being picked up here. Obviously, Jaeger is there too. They have that utility denial, but they're not opting to deal with it. It's going to be, again, yeah, looking like that off-site setup here. Something a bit different. It didn't work in the first round. They would have to make some form of adaptation to be able to pull it off in this one.
You can see with the SSG room, the utility dump on top floor is huge. I mean, that's Mozzie using a shotgun, there are mute jammers, there are people holding up there. I mean, all that is wasted if they just go for sight, which is what Crusaders did in that first round. They just went straight for sight where there's little utility, only 2 players, and what do? You can't do anything because you're off sight. So hopefully Crusaders can... Honestly, they might attempt something similar, or they could attempt a more conventional take by clearing out these rooms.
Yeah, I mean, we see the hatch being breached here by Goonbag on the Habana. They're looking to make some plays in and around that. They know there are defenders around. Dan picking up the first kill onto you, Fixer, with that frag grenade. The mute now gone, although those mute jammers are already down, so they are going to be doing a lot to deny that drone intel being picked up. And 4v5 currently 2 minutes, or just over 2 minutes at least, left in this game. That kitchen hatch has been opened up as well. We are looking to see some crossfires set up by the attackers, and again, it looks like we might see this defense just crumble.
I mean, no Jaeger. That's Sledge can do whatever he wants with those grenades, and Habana's dropped down and takes that one onto Pirate Will. That's your generator player down, but refrag by Fangda later. Now in a 3-on-4 situation. It's just a really quick engagement, but everything's slowed down again. Mozzie's on this flank into stock, could get a free kill onto Buck, misses the shots. That is no! You can't be missing those. KJ, Dan picks up his second kill for the round, now in a 4-on-2 situation.
Yeah, it is not quite enough. Dan still has that frag grenade as well, so can use that to try and pick up another one of the defenders. Dan is low. He can only offer so much going into this, but Rice picks up that kill onto Fanga. Rice on the Zofia, doing a decent chunk of work in this game. He swings wide, picks up Shredded as well. Shredded looked at him and then looked away, it seemed. At least that's how I saw it on my screen, but what could have been an easy frag just wasn't enough. And yeah, it does. It looks like he looked across that doorway and then swung back, which was a huge mistake.
Yeah, it was, I mean, as soon as they lost that mute, you could see CRS collapse onto the side. They knew that the players would fall back, and they tried to catch them on the rotates, which they did. But that frag, that Mozzie, KJ missing his shots onto Buck, that could have changed the round. Because that means Buck doesn't have that influence. He doesn't have those grenades, doesn't have that position on stock hatch. That means KJ would have the advantage, but he just can't land the shots.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen the lowest of lows so far. They've played basement a couple of times. We are now heading to the tippy top of the map up to gym and bedroom. So a bit of a different site for this one. They've changed things up, acknowledging the fact that they haven't been able to pull off this SSG roam at all, and it hasn't worked, and it's been punished time and time again. Maybe they'll have a bit more luck in gym and bedroom.
Yeah, now gym and bedroom's genuinely normally the third site you go to. You win cash, you win Arsenal, then you go to gym, and it's like, okay, lose this one. It is the harder site to hold. But Crusaders is 3-0 up. I mean, they've won Arsenal, which is the hardest site to hold, twice. Using an SSG strat from the side of Rise, which is a good strat, and it's very hard to counter. But clearly Crusaders is keyed in, and they know what to look for, and they're just countering it perfectly.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing to take away from that, like you said, it's the third map you go to after you've won the other two. They have yet to win a round on this defense side. So maybe this could be the change that allows Rise Esports to come back into this game. We have seen them show the resilience that they need to be able to bring rounds back going into the later stages of this game. And so a change-up could be the tool to start that process off. And, I mean, it does look like they are setting up for a top-floor hold right now. There's multiple defenders up there. They've got the castles in place and those rotate holes into bedroom as well. And it's going to be interesting to see how they treat this initial push from the Crusaders.
I mean, Crusaders just 3-0 up. When you attack on club, if you get 2 rounds, they're generally the 2 rounds you win going to when your defense has to go to gym. And like, okay, we can lose 4 on the attack, that's okay, we can recover that in our defending rounds. Which is generally what you expect on defender-sided maps, but they're 3-0 up. They've already done more than they have to do, and it looks like they might actually get more rounds on the attack. And if this is even a 4-2 split, that's fantastic for the side of Crusader.
Yeah, and it looks like we've gone for a bit of a bandit trick, being sneaky and denying those battery kills away from the attackers. Another frag, and it will be that secondary battery taken. I wonder if we are going to be seeing some setup. No, the thermite is coming out. No, it is denied. There was a second battery left available. Ufixer, though, was taken pretty low off the back of that frag grenade. Luckily, that shield just kept him alive. The last couple of clutch minutes, Arya spraying into both gym and bedroom from that external roof. And, I mean, they found their way in onto CCTV if they want to go that avenue. Looking through these drone holes, looking to find some advantage. Ufixer is low, could be cleaned up quite easily, but, I mean, their initial plan didn't work.
Yeah, I mean, they tried to go for that jacuzzi wall. It is often hotly contested. Normally, you see that second castle on the gym door opened, so the bandit can't be sitting where he is right now, just being completely safe. But they didn't have the utility. They could use a Barna Pass to open it, or a Zofia Impact, but they used neither. And that's going to lock them out on site, and they're sitting at these windows. It looks like it just might be a straight-on jump in, and smoke on low HP, it's not the most impossible thing to imagine. And now that castle barricade on gym door might work in the advantage of the attacking team, since it means bandit can't rotate into gym.
Yeah, we do see that Jaeger lying down on the stairs. KJ looking to try and counter some rotations up through those stairs. It is Rice looking in that direction as well. He doesn't know there's anyone there. The concussion going out does mean that KJ will have to get up and get ready to potentially retreat away from that situation. Doesn't want to get caught exposing their flank on that northern side. And it's all kicking off there and onto the side. Early kill. Shredder taking down Goonbag. Multiple deaths on this Crusaders side. Currently a 4v2. The rotate coming in. Ufixer, despite being very low, picks up Arya as well. Snip is the last man alive. He has got himself a kill in this game already, but I mean, I don't know if he has what it takes. He isn't on gym, runs into bedroom, and Shredder picking that one up as well. And a much more convincing round out of Rise Esports.
I mean, really good round from Rise. On the least easy site to hold, they still close it out, because that's the power of having Jacuzzi Wall intact and having Cash intact. You generally want to open up both. You want to get both, or at least Jacuzzi Wall, or at least Cash. And the side of Crusaders got neither, just by some really good bandit tricking and some good shield placement by both Ufixer and Will.
Yeah, Ufixer tanked a whole lot of damage from that frag grenade just to be able to try and save those bandit batteries. We are heading back to CCTV Cash. And I mean, off the back of that round pickup, surely this Rise Esports side are revitalized going into round number 5 and potentially could string together another couple going into the end of this first half.
I mean, they won that round by a little bit of a blunder almost by Crusaders by not capitalizing on Anna and Sophia being able to open up that second castle barrier. But it was like props to Rise for just capitalizing on having that barricade up and just denying any of that jacuzzi wall being opened. It's a really powerful position to hold, and when they just keep control of it, you can see what happens. That was almost a flawless victory. It was a 4-1 at the end, and Snip goes down to the cash wall, and that's it. That's the first round for Rise. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely read that play really well, setting up that bandit trick so they couldn't take that wall, denying the thermite exothermic charge from taking it down and exposing their flanks. And we even saw KJ lying on those stairs, denying the rotate up from Rice, who has been one of those players which has allowed Crusaders to sort of snowball over their opponents so far. And a bit of a cheeky peek
coming out from Will.
We see ambitious for sure, but he decides better if it rotates back, and we might see another bandit trick set up here onto that wall outside of CCTV. Dan already pushing in on that buck, looking to maybe open up the floor below the bandit batteries, which is pretty much the only way they can get that wall open. Otherwise, it's going to be a hard push through garage or, elsewhere around the map to try and be able to gain some foothold into this second floor.
Certainly, if they can get this wall open below Bandit from Swamp, it'd be really good. But look at KJ's positioning on those secret stairs. He can frag about Dan, fantastic nade onto Will. That's your bandit gone. That means they can open the wall for free now. Nothing else can deny that.
Yeah, that frag grenade has just been an absolute monster, and people complain about it all the time. The buck frag grenade's constantly being used to pick up kills time and time again. He's charging another one up. He is just holding it there, not quite throwing it in the right spot. You know, cooking that grenade was great and all, but you got to throw it in the right position for it to be able to pick up any form of frag there. Looking in through these windows, Arya finds a quick one in. Dan following it up quickly onto you, Fixer. Now a 5v2, no health at all lost on this attacking side, and maybe that last round was a bit of a fluke on the part of Rise Esports.
I mean, from what we're seeing right now, it looks like it. But Shred does get one onto Dan. That is your buck gone. No more vertical pressure from below. But is it going to be enough? There's still 4 full HP players, almost full HP players, on the side of Crusader, and there's only 2 defenders who are both separated from each other.
Yeah, we do see Echo, though, is sitting on that catwalk in garage. I don't think they quite know that he is there. That is the flank potential that could be the thing that helps them finalize this round. They're setting up a bit of a crossfire, looking for something. He is just sitting in that little rotate hole there, looking potentially to try and find some flank frag if possible. But, I mean, we're coming down to the last minute of this round, and it has taken a while. Shred finds another one. That's a double for him. Arya just crossed paths, looking straight at the Echo. Goonbag does take out Shred, though. It is all down to Fangalator on this Echo, looking through that rotate hole, and Arya looks straight at him through this window. Arya realizes that rotate hole is there. It's going to try and pick up the spray coming out. Fangalator drops the headshot from Arya, is enough to finish him off, securing a 4-1 lead for Crusaders Esports on their map pick.
I mean, it came down close. That Legion was picking up some good frags, but then finally shut down by the Hibana, just having enough of that. And it's a 4-1 on the attacking half for Crusaders.
Yeah, especially when you said it was, you know, just that little bit more favoured in terms of the defenders. So, I mean, especially if it's your map pick, surely you know how to play both sides of the coin. And they have figured out some strats which will work. Unfortunately, they were stymied a little bit by that gym bedroom hold. Now we are heading back down to the basement, the church arsenal room, and I mean, surely they do not go for the same play again, Han.
I mean, there's no castle. I'm pretty sure they won't SSG without a castle. If they do, it'll be new. I don't think it'll work, but I think they're doing more of a turtle. The pulse coming out kind of signifies that, since that floor above kitchen is soft. Oh, sorry, the floor above arsenal is soft. So is the floor. You can see Pirate Wood running over it right now. That is also all soft, and those are pretty much free nitro kills on anyone standing still if Pulse can get the intel. So yeah, having the Pulse does signify more of a roam. More of a turtle, sorry. Having KJ on the Jaeger, finally seeing something to stop grenades when they're defending Arsenal, which is good to see. Dan has got 2 entry frags just with grenades. And that comes out to the fact that there isn't a Wamai and there isn't a Jaeger, even though they're on board. They're not being chosen by Rise. So it's just really good from Dan.
Yeah, most definitely. And we see Snip has actually got a kill on this map. It took him a while to get his first one in the last one, but it is KJ that was currently fragless on the side of Rise Esports, yet to have a significant impact in this game on this defense side. They really have struggled in Clubhouse so far. The action phase has started, and we are seeing some cheeky stuff out of the Jaeger, looking for that bottom of that door there. They're pinging it out. They know that there is potentially someone around there. Obviously, with the pulse below, does give them that information. Almost getting caught on the flank there. Almost disaster for this Jaeger. KJ Arya takes a decent chunk of damage there, as he was just bloodied up a wee bit. Has to throw the drone in, wants to get that information, so doesn't risk going down again. But it was almost a bit rough for this attacker side. That IQ is so clutch and enabling the attackers to get into the building and onto the side.
I mean, they know where KG is now, and if he goes for this push, hopefully Buck gets the frag onto the Jaeger. But yeah, KG's deciding to pull back. That's probably a smart choice. Keeping him alive is, you know, pretty important, especially when doing a turtle. You need those you need the manpower.
Yeah, most definitely. We also had Hibana opening up the catch with the Kairos. He fixed sitting on the stairs towards basement as well. Mold.
Nitro.
Yeah, it's a bit rough there. That's why you have picked it up. You want to be able to get those kills through the floor. There are still a couple left available, though. Pirate still has his. Euphorix as well has one in the back pocket. He's sitting on those basement stairs looking for something. Waiting for that rotate down. It is going to be the buck there. He takes the headshot off of Dan. So that is one of the big entry fraggers for this Crusaders side. It is now a 5v4 in favor of the defenders. Those Velt cams coming in clutch, getting that information that they need. Concussion being dropped by the Zofia. looking to try and put someone off of the back foot. A tunnel push as well coming from outside. That is Goonbag looking to push his way in behind the defenders. And Shred will be watching from that position. I don't know if he's going to be able to figure it out. Hibana from behind. He will just destroy that goo mine. I'm not
he'll
sure.
hear the goo get destroyed.
Yeah, he hears it. He looks for the spray. Does some decent damage onto Goonbag. Not able to take the headshot there and clean him out. Is just going to rotate out of the tunnel entrance, pull it back. He's sitting in the back of Arsenal towards blue. Looks for that spray. Not going to find another goo trap there on the floor. Goonbag looks for it. He doesn't quite get it. It is Shred picking up that kill. He gets dropped, though, by Rice looking down that hallway with the Zofia. A 4v3 currently. Arya is low. So is Ufixa. Arya's not that low, sitting on 75% health, but Ufixa is definitely reasonably low on this Mozzie. And I mean, looking for these angles, 20 seconds left in this round. They have delayed things out. Is it going to be enough for them to get onto this site?
I think it's going to have to be a hatch drop with Rifles holding this angle down long. If they can drop hatches, but that's the diffuser in dirt. If he gets dropped, yeah, that's pretty much the round one for the side of Rise. Diffuser's in dirt. They have no chance of retaking it. They have to drop a site. And yeah, a 4-on-1 Rice. Can he get this one? I don't think he can. Runs into side but gets fragged by Frangoletta, and that's a second defending side win for Rise. And that's your half at 4-2 instead of Crusader.
Yeah, it's much better than the 5-1 result that we were potentially going to see. So they do clean it up. And I mean, is it a little concerning that maybe if they'd pulled off that strat from the start when playing down in Church and Arsenal, that maybe they could have picked up a couple of more rounds, because that SSG strategy was just not working for them.
Yeah, when it didn't work the first round, it was when they went back to Arsenal, I was expecting something more of a turtle. I was expecting what they did just then. But no, they went to SSG again, and they basically gave the round up because they played the same way they did the first round, and basically Crusaders to go, we just have to push site again, just quickly, and they did, and they won it, and it was pretty much a very similar play. But now with the side swapped, you got Crusader on defense. They're going Church and Arsenal, running a pretty standard lineup, I'd say. Nothing too unusual. Both the Vigil and the Jaeger, they could be doing a two-man roam. It's very possible. Roamers on Clubhouse done right is really powerful and can delay so much time.
Yeah,
we'll see how they play it.
It looks like we're going for the setup that maybe the Rise should have run on that first round of the first half, but it's going to be Crusaders pulling it out in this one. And a bit of a roam setup, like you said. The Mozzie looking to deny away some of those drones in and around those stairs, and the hatch is all being reinforced right now. Unfortunately, because of that Cade ban, it does make it that little bit harder to hold them, because Hibana is there, Thermite's there. It is Bandit on the stairs, picking up the kill onto that drone. 5 seconds left in the prep round, and it is Dan scouting out some more drones in the oil pit.
Attacking side lineup coming from Rise, pretty standard. Actually, it's identical to the side of Crusaders. It's pretty standard to be running the same operators. They're universal for all the sites. You do see Jaeger on the room up top floor though. I'm not sure if Rise have even droned upstairs. I don't think they have, because he's running around freely. Yeah, he's just running around gym everywhere. No one actually droning. Those drones are on the first floor. If they leave him up here just completely unnoticed, he can collapse above all of them with no gridlock, no nomad. He is free roam for all these players.
I mean, do you blame him and going for that wide roam? Or everyone's stuck in isolation, all you want to do is go outside and stretch your legs, and it looks like that is exactly what Dan is doing upstairs. He's gone for the upstairs play, completely unscattered out right now. And we'll see if it can pull anything off here, because if he does get caught out, he's committed all that time and resources upstairs to absolutely nothing. So hopefully it does come in clutch and find a couple of kills in on the backside of the attackers. The slow push in from KJ, the pre-fire as well, not going to be able to achieve anything. The X-Cairo is being used as well to get some of these hatches open. Look for that vertical play. And it is going to be a bit slower once again. First minute going by without too much action really happening other than just those breaches onto those soft surfaces and the reinforced hatches as well. Bomb has been found, and it is still this Jaeger upstairs, Dan alone. And it looks like he might be actually able to achieve something. They have no idea he's there.
Oh, they're bunching up on main stairs. They're going for a church wall take. And if Dan lets them go down and then comes in behind them, if Dan lets them go down, comes in behind them, that's easily 2-3 kills for him. Yeah, you can see him slowly walking down. He knows that they have no idea he's there. He could get a lot of free kills right now.
Oh, Rice picking up the first kill around under KJ. The spray coming out from Dan, not able to actually finish anyone off. Frangolator, though, picks up the Echo, which means Yokai is not going to be able to deny that diffuser plant. Will has been down. That Buck in a bit of trouble. needs someone to come in and pick him up quite soon. Otherwise, they're going to be down another member, Fangalator, and Ufixa in this dirt tunnel as well, looking to try and push in onto Arsenal. Will is still down on the ground. No help, it seems, coming for him. 40 seconds left in this round. They are pushing it onto Arsenal. The spray coming out, and it will be Ufixa down as well, as Will does get picked up. The spray coming out onto the dirt tunnel. No one is going to be able to help Ufixa at this stage. C4 going out. It doesn't land because Fangalator pushed up, picked up that kill. Rice in position. Takes off Will's head, who was already very low. Snip with the C4. Takes down Fangalator, and they will shut up the round as Dan picks up a double.
I mean, Crusader, that was fantastic. They retook that full. They gave it to the side of Rise. When this Rise got down to the side, with only 2 people left, you could see Vigil and Diego coming up those main stairs, coming from Secret, and they took back Moto Hatch, and they took back Kitchen Hatch, and then I plant from above, which is just really good to see from the side of Crusaders. They're reading into their opponents very well. Certainly, Rise could have brought a Nomad or a Gridlock to actually stop that happening, and generally you see teams do it because retakes are more common now. But it's just really good to see from Crusaders perfectly reading into what Rise are doing. They're pushing down dirt, they're dropping into side, and they're just coming back upstairs on the side of Crusaders and taking their gunfight.
Yeah, and it was Dan instrumental in that round, clutching it out with that double kill at the end, spending so much time up on the top floor, completely unscouted, was free to just roam in behind the attackers, and we are going to be heading up the gym bedroom now. And we see a different pick coming out, one that we haven't seen so far. It's going to be that Mirror for Dan.
Yeah, Mirror Lift's unbanned because they chose to ban, what was it, Maestro instead, and the Kaid from Rise, but Mirror's really powerful. I mean, certainly on Clubhouse, where all these sites are not big rooms, and they're not corridors, they're things where you walk into a door and you see a mirror, and it's there. You can't do anything about it, though. With the Habana, they can, but it's unlikely that the mirrors will be in positions that are exposed to those X-Kairos. And yeah, you can see that mirror being set up onto that bathroom wall. She's shooting out the reinforcements, so the mirror has a bit more, can see a bit more on the other side. But I mean, with mirror unbanned, it's just so powerful for the defending side, and we didn't see Rise use it at all.
Yeah, and it looks like Crusaders have committed to a huge amount of utility denial as well, opting for the Wamai and the Jaeger. They pick up the castle and snip on the Goyo, so it's going to be a hard time getting into some of these tight positions. There's so much stall potential online for Crusaders right now. And everything otherwise is pretty similar for the attackers. They've got the Buck, the Zofia, the Hibana, and the Thermite, and really, I mean, are they going to be able to get into a position where they can contest this site? They're taking it so they are looking through those drone holes, looking to potentially pick up the feet of any of the defenders not wary enough to see what is going on. And we see that exothermic charge going out. He has been droned out. Is Arya in a bit of trouble on those northeast stairs?
That's the power of this cash hold, is they have to really utility dump it if you take it, and you kind of have to take it. You either take it or you go for that jacuzzi take, and I think the side of Rise know they probably can't do it. How successfully they defended their jacuzzi really seems like they're not gonna be able to take it themselves. But you can see the utility, those magnets coming in, stopping those grenades. Actually, if Will throws his second one in, it's gonna get taken as well. Yeah, it got taken as well by those magnets. Just the power of Umai, just really coming through.
Yeah, it's a little disconcerting. You go to throw your frag grenade and then all of a sudden it's just flying in the wrong direction, and you realise the mistake that has been made there as the magnet has picked it up. And I mean, 1:30 left in this round, no damage being dealt at this stage. They're still taking their time, looking to try and get into this top floor and establish themselves. And I mean, it's taking a wee while. They're opening the window onto Jim, slowly looking for the peak. The drone's going in as well. I think they've realized exactly where people are sitting. The drone just escaping those bullets there of the defenders. And Castle sitting in tight, close to that bomb.
Yeah, they're opening up Jacuzzi. There isn't actually any wall denial on the side of CRF, on the side of Crusaders. There's no Kaya's banned, but there's no mute and no bandit. They're really not really that worried about this Jacuzzi wall, and rightly so, because they have Mirror just on the other side of that bathroom wall staring right at them. There's not much they can do.
Yeah, and we saw Zofia trying to get in, and it will be the first kill taken on the Will. Goonbag picking that one up. Rice gets a kill onto KJ as well. Ufixa, though, trading Goon out, so it is currently a 4v3. Fangalator finds Rice, so it is a 3v3 currently. Those Goyo shields delaying the push into bedroom, stalling things out. 30 seconds left in the round. We have seen Rise come in clutch in these situations. Sitting on the stairs is Arya. Dan in that bathroom as well. looking for the rotate, trying to find the heads of these attackers as well. The ping's coming out. It will be the rotate into office. Sprays going through. Not able to find anything off the back of it. 13 seconds left in the round. It is all coming down to the last seconds of this play phase. Aria picks up kill. Dan as well. It is all down to you, Fixer. He finds one. He gets the double. Unfortunately, though, stalling it out. He jumps over the shield. Won't be able to get anything. And the round is over in favor of Crusaders, who expertly stalled it out. Not denying that diffuser plant and making you, Fixer, run and chase them down, frustrated, not being able to achieve anything.
Yeah, I mean, Aria coming huge, getting that pick onto the person who rotated from Logi in towards site. That was really good. Covering, mirrors back, and just fantastic. Like, I mean, really well played from Crusaders. They set up the chance to get refrags really easily. And in those last couple of dying seconds, they had to go for the kill, and Aria just ran away, which is all she had to do. And it wins the round out pretty decisively.
Yeah, it was a much better attack, though, than what we saw onto this site from Crusaders. They got a little bit stymied by the defense of Rise Esports. We are heading to cash CCTV here. And it doesn't look like we're going to see a Bandit pick up. There is potential for that 6th pick there, but it's going to be the Mute instead this time. We do see the Zofia as well, so there is potential as well as the Buck vertical play to be able to deal with those. And I wonder if they have something prepped for this, because they seem to have read every single situation that Rise has thrown their way in this game so far.
I mean, if you look at Snip real quick, he's actually doubled his kills from last match. That's huge coming in from stepping up to the plate. Yeah, he's doubled his kills on 2, coming in huge, but he's still on those supportive operators. And he's still like hard anchoring their site pretty much. And he's just still a backbone for Crusaders, and you could see him on the drones in the attacking round. You can see him probably on the cams again on this defending round. Yeah, no bandit brought. They're not going for a bandit trick, and just a simple mute jammer, which is going to get taken up from below, I imagine. So, yeah, pretty standard defense for Crusaders. Not a hard master hold. They got person holding in rafters, which isn't surprising. Nice outside vault cam from Dan. He could be going for an aggressive run out and over this warehouse side, but if they get up onto that balcony, he can nitro sell out or get a frag if they're over towards the northern ledge.
And yeah, most definitely. Snip, he's almost been that steady hand on the shoulder of his teammates, keeping them focused on the goal, keeping them in this game so far. He's just been consistent. Yeah, he hasn't picked up any kills, but the utility and information he has offered to his team throughout the series so far has been instrumental. And them being at the point we find them at match point in map 2, 6-2 as well. I mean, they've got so many rounds to play with. They can screw up a couple of times and still finish it out. Aria picks up the first kill onto Will. So 5-4 currently in favor of the defenders. Aria took a bit of damage in response, but that is going to be the buck down. So that soft wall breach is going to be just that little bit harder. Rice gets traded out by KJ, though. It is currently a 4v4 now. They are pushing their way into that top floor, looking for something. Euphoric's pushing down the stairs as well. Aria holding currently trying to look up onto those stairs, looking for a frag. Peek out of there, he sprays, but it is just a second too late. Euphoric's peeking out off the back of that. And I mean, we could see a rotation here from the Valkyrie holding that angle in behind. Is Aria being dropped, though? 1 minute 30 left back in this round. I don't think there's any real help coming for him, though.
Dan on the deep roam. He could pick up a few. They have no idea. Yeah. He sat in freezer for pretty much the whole round, and look, there are 2 players with their backs turned. If he swings out, there are 2 free kills right there. But I think he's biding his time. He does have the nitro now. He's pushing out now. I think he is aware. Knows that Aria's got picked at lounge, and there are 2 players pushing through the position. Sorry, picked at restage, now they're pushing into lounge. They're in stock. They're pushing all the way through, actually. Dan is behind them, and they still have no idea. Their backs are turned. Like, Dan's, again, in this perfect roam position because of the lack of droning from the side of Rise. It just allows him all this space, all this area of the map just to walk through entirely. And there's 2 players with his back turned.
And he's swinging wide. He gets 1, he gets 2. That is so rough if you're an attacker right now. The Nitro Cell going up through the hatch. 3-2 currently on match point of Crusaders map as well. Very, very healthy on the side of defenders. Fangulator is pretty low. Shred is the healthiest attacker currently available for Rise Esports, and that's got to be hugely demoralizing. At this point, Rise have so far to go. The shotgun, not going to be enough. Snip takes a bit of damage there. That Mute not quite being able to pick up anything. He does a bit of damage onto Shred, but hopefully you're looking for that one tap with the big shotgun. They have to push out aggressively. Goonbag with the SMG-11. Snip finishing it off with that shotgun. He does finalize it, and Crusaders are going to take out the series 2-0.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really decisive win. No overtime here. Crusaders had enough of it. 7-2. Really decisive win coming out from Crusaders. Like, Dan with those 2 flanks and Arya with her entry. I mean, it's just looking unstoppable right now.
Yeah, and it definitely shows that this is their map pick. They played it really, really well, and I mean, there was a couple of misplays out of the side of Rise Esports in positioning around that basement bomb site, and it definitely came back to bite them very much so. And what a game out of Crusaders! What a series out of Crusaders! And they do shut it out eventually. They weren't too happy with that overtime, obviously, in the first one, and they shut it down quite quickly in the second map.
Yeah, that's it. 2-0 series. No third map, no overtime on Clubhouse. And I mean, I like to point out that Dan, on the attacking side, got 2 entries with frag grenades, and on the defending side, did 2 deep roams that pretty much won the round because he went undroned by the side of Rise. No drones, nothing even pointed towards him, and he capitalized on it really well.
Yeah, I mean, like, just being able to have that much free reign behind the attacking side. He wasn't scattered out once, and we saw it twice, where he lined up 2 attackers, first in the drop down into Arsenal, and the second on that rotate in from Freezer on the Valkyrie, and it was just very, very clean, and it did play very well into bringing them to that 7-2 map point, and what a game.
I mean, great game to watch in general. Coastline was so back and forth, like just pushing it to overtime. That 4-6 comeback from Rise, but then the side of Crusaders just shutting it out in overtime, 8-6, and then onto Clubhouse. Crusaders map picking up a 4-2 attacking half, and then a 7-2 at the end of the match. I mean, Crusaders just looking really dominant right now.
Yeah, most definitely. Be exciting to see where they go from here as they play on through this tournament. But that is all done and dusted for day 3. Han, it's been a great opportunity to sit here and cast with you tonight. Where can the people find you after this? What are your social handles so they can come and follow
I'm
you?
on Twitter. It's HanYunderscore. It's been a pleasure casting with you too, Blue. Where can they find you? What are your Twitter handles and everything?
I am at NZ_Blue one of the few New Zealand casters that has been making their way into the scene. But thank you very much to our sponsors who have been supporting us throughout this event. Aftershock have been monumental in allowing these sorts of things to happen. Thank you to the production side of things as well, Nuttery, the man behind the scenes, as well as Snook. But that is all from us tonight. A couple of very interesting series that we got to watch. But thank you very much, Han. Thank you very much to the viewers at home. Enjoy the last couple of replays of the night, and we'll see you
Sitting on a bench, waiting for the time to pass, dreaming of what happens next. I see what I wanna be, questioning my destiny, only knowing what I see. I don't even realize I've already made a path, and I can change it anytime, but can't take it back. I know what I want, but it seems so damn far away. I know I sound crazy to the ones who said I know I empower those who dream like me. I know I sound crazy to the ones who said I know I empower those who dream like me. And you say you wanna be so better. voice, then you better use it. Tell yourself day after day it's time to prove it. No days off, keep the hustle moving. Wanna see you be what you want it to be, prove it. I know I sound crazy to the ones who said oh. I know I empower those who dream like me. I know I sound crazy to the ones who said oh. I know I empower those who dream like me. And you say you wanna be somebody.